Regular meeting of the Board of Governors for Pima Community College. This is a hybrid meeting being recorded and live streamed on PCC TV. Welcome Pima family, board members, staff, faculty, administrators, Chancellor Lambert, and most especially to our students. Our first item will be roll call. Mr. Sylvan, would you like to take roll?
Yes, Madam Chair, I'd be glad to. Luis Gonzalez.
Present.
Damian Klinko.
Present.
Catherine Ripley.
Present.
Dr. Meredith Hay.
Present.
Maria Garcia.
Present.
All board members are present.
Thank you. Item 1.3, the Pledge of Allegiance. I would like us to now rise, if possible, from where you are, and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. Chancellor, can you please lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chancellor. Before I open the floor to public comment, I would like to welcome everybody. Good evening, Pima Community College, friends, faculty, supporters, employees. On behalf of the Board of Governors, welcome back to the fall semester. It was for some a long summer and others too short. We wish to especially thank those who worked over the summer, keeping the doors open and the lights on, whether it was teaching in person, virtually, or hybrid, maintaining the buildings and grounds, keeping the campuses safe and sound, or working diligently on planning and strategies for the next semester and beyond. And bravo, bravo to our students who worked all summer to stay current, fit, informed, and ready. And that includes our student athletes, musicians, artists, theater and dance majors, writers, and creators of all specialties. We are immensely proud of you all. I would also like to take this moment to acknowledge the 21st anniversary this week of 9/11. Many throughout the world, to include our campuses, took the time to honor, remember, and mourn the events of that day. And on a positive note, we kick off Hispanic Heritage Month with special events scheduled from now until the middle of October. Please take the time to read all about the events that we have scheduled on campus and off through emails, social media, and our website to see how you can participate and learn from these events. We have an incredibly full agenda today, so I'll get right to it. The board looks forward to hearing about the wonderful things our staff, administrators, and faculty have to share with us. We only get a small glimpse of your accomplishments, but please know that the community, state, and nation have you on their radar, as evidenced by the Forbes study, which announced Pima Community College as the 5th best employer in the state of Arizona. Not the 5th best college, but the 5th best employer across the board. Pima had in no way any input nor knowledge of this study until it came out. Credit goes to all of you. We were also awarded by Harvard University for being one of a handful of colleges capable of working with them on workforce development. Harvard University was humble enough to acknowledge that even from their ivory towers, we must work together with the people who truly make this country viable on a day-to-day basis. We're really proud of that project. Another project that the board is most proud of may seem like a small feat, but is arguably one of the most important steps we can take towards breaking the barriers to education and ending the cycle of poverty in our community. And that was the opening of the first of hopefully 5 daycare centers on our campuses. The Desert Vista campus, thanks to our partners at United Way, Head Start, CFP, and PEEPS, with a championing of legislation by Congressman Grijalva, who helped secure nearly $285,000. Our mayor, city council, board of supervisors, so many people were involved in this. Now we have a beautiful new early childhood learning center, which will provide free daycare, childcare, and early education to all those eligible. This sets the tone. Thank you, board members here. Thank you so much for approving our budget in June. For without that approval, this project and others, which is near and dear to my heart, would not have happened. We're also very proud this week of our athletic department led by Jim Monaco for helping to secure Pima Community College and our local partners as hosts this year for the National Junior College Athletic Association, the NJCAA National Soccer Championship Tournament for both men and women's soccer teams. And I just want to put a plug in that our teams, both our men and women's, are ranked number one in the nation right now. So we're pretty proud of that. Thank you, good job. Our basically our athlete scholars. Thank you. I don't want to steal the thunder, and I know I already have, from those reporting on their other efforts today. And so with that, I know there are many more accomplishments to talk about during the information and administration and representatives' report. So with that, I would like to go on to our business at hand. Public comments call to the audience. We have a long list, and the first person on the list is Mr. Richard Hernandez. So we're looking at Zoom. Okay.
One second, I'll get him on.
Okay. I believe we're trying to get our first speaker on audio. Shall we move on and come back?
He's ready. He needs to unmute right now.
What? Oh, great.
One second.
Can you hear me okay?
Okay, please go
Do
ahead.
whatever you gotta do. I appreciate it. Okay, yeah, you should be good. I should be good. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Got your technician to fix it. I stand before you. My name is Richard Hernandez. I'm a resident, I'm a taxpayer, and I'm a voter. I am here to share with the rest of the Pima College family that we have a serious crisis at Pima College. Nefarious actions by the Chancellor, Lee Lambert, supported by board members Damian Klinko and Kat Ripley, have put the college in danger. Did anyone get a chance to watch the television presentation recently? It was on Channel 13, August the 30th. The investigator's name is Valerie Cavazos. If you haven't done so, you should. Some of the concerns that I had a multiple amount of concerns, but let me visit with two particular things. In this country, we have some freedoms. One of them is the freedom of press. I was shocked to see that the Chancellor did everything he could, including threatening the reporter, her boss, and my sense is he hired lawyers with our public money to threaten their corporation all the way up the chain of command, because he does not want the truth to be shared. Take a look at that investigative piece, and I know the reporter did her diligence. I'm sure there's documentation. I'm certain there's eyewitness accounts, and I am thanking her for being brave, truthful, and honest, something these three people have no idea about, and sharing the truth. It is your right under freedom of the press in this country. And Lambert, I'm talking to you even if I can't see you. This is the United States of America. This is not Russia. This is not China. This is not North Korea. We actually encourage the press to enlighten us, the public, and we trust them to do their due diligence. The second thing I want to visit with is also an inherent right that all of you have who live in this country. It's called the freedom of speech. Now the Chancellor and his two cronies are targeting me. They've directed people to write notes of anything I say. I'm going to do you one better. Take my picture. Take your camera out. Videotape me. Get every single email that I've given the Chancellor and this board so they will not lie to you about its content. Please go get it. All you have to do is fill out a Freedom of Information Act, and they should legally give you any copy of any communication between them and I. I encourage it. I almost demand it.
Thank you so much
There are
for those
some-
comments. Your 3 minutes is up. We have a lot of people that are signed up to comment. And in the spirit of transparency and our regular publicly televised board meetings. I would like to call the next person who has signed up, and it is, I'm not sure if Michelle Burt had any comments, but you are next on the agenda. Michelle Burt? It says NA.
I don't see a Michelle Burt in the attendance. If there is a Michelle Burt, can you raise your hand?
Okay, we also have a Marjorie King. It's actually says no comments or NA, but they're on the list. So is Marjorie King present? Okay, we'll give a minute. Next on the list is Michaela Hayes. Michaela Hayes, are you on Zoom?
If you are, please raise your hand.
I see your face. I see your hand up.
I am here.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Oh, sorry, 1 second. I'm having a tech issue. Okay. Good evening, board members, chancellor, colleagues, and guests. I'm Michaela Hayes, your PCCA faculty president. Come to you today from a place of deep concern about a pattern of a lack of transparency to the college community from the chancellor. I'm concerned that the Faculty Senate had to ask multiple times this past year for information about the HLC visit scheduled last March. And although May 24th was the date shared that the HLC report was due to the college, that date came and went with no update. I'm concerned that there was no mention in the June agenda on the focus visit or the HLC report. Though a question was asked by a board member, no answers were given because the topic wasn't noticed. It is absent from this month's agenda as well. I'm concerned that it wasn't until PCCEA emailed the chancellor in July before the college community was informed that the report had even been received. Even more so, the response to that email has not been an increase in transparency, but rather a series of actions that make people feel they're not welcome to speak up or ask questions. I'm concerned that this HLC draft report is apparently being treated as confidential, when that seems to be a departure from past practice. I've asked the chancellor to explain this change and received no answer. I'm concerned that since February 2021, the chancellor's been announced as a finalist at 3 other community colleges, each before decisions were made about his evaluation and goals or his contract and pay. Now, as his evaluation is being considered for this year, the draft HLC report is being held as confidential. It seems as a thorough evaluation would not be complete without consideration of the report from our accreditor. I'm concerned that the public comment section of recent board meetings have turned into what feels like a popularity contest for the chancellor, detracting from actual business at the college. And I'm concerned that in June, the board voted on new employee salary structures without hearing public comment first. And now on tonight's agenda, I see that board member comments are being moved to the end of the meeting, and hints that this may become a permanent change. I'm concerned that the chancellor has decided to answer expressions of employee concern with widespread touting of the Forbes report and public messages to employees with instructions to not be negative, minimizing legitimate employee concerns at best and discouraging them from speaking up at worst. I'm concerned that the board may not be getting enough information to carry out fiscal oversight on large contracts and supervision of the chancellor. The class and comp study by the Siegel consultant is one example. There are too many outstanding legitimate employee questions for that money to have been well spent. In addition, the grievance filed by AERC shows a breakdown of consensus building with elected employee representatives. The subsequent denial by ODR to even consider that grievance highlights the inability of employees to be confident in bringing their concerns through internal channels. Overall, I'm concerned the chancellor has been given too much independence from the board and is not being held accountable for acting with transparency. I'm deeply concerned and feel there are no other internal avenues for me to use. I ask the board to not be distracted by news reports, high-level charts and graphs, or flashy terminology, but to encourage follow-up questions, treat each other with respect, hold the chancellor accountable for consensus building and improving employee morale, and ensure the main focus is on serving the community and our students in a transparent manner above reproach.
Thank you very much for your comments. And Chancellor, we can discuss any kind of action items. Next on the list, Leilani Williams, are you present?
Yes, ma'am.
Great, thank you. Go ahead.
I'm just one of the new senators for the Desert Vista campus. I'm here to introduce myself.
Sorry, can you repeat that? You're what? What is this?
The new senator at the Desert Vista campus. I believe I'm here to introduce myself to everybody.
Super, thank you so much. Welcome, and we're glad to have you as one of our Senate members. Okay, sorry, we'll have more of your colleagues. I think we've got a whole list of them, so thank you so much for being here as well. Sure. Azucena Hughes is next. Azucena Hughes. And I apologize if I've mispronounced your first name.
You can unmute Azucena. Let's see, Valerie is raising her hand again. Let's see.
Good evening. My name is Valerie Vidal King, and I am the Director of Student Engagement and Co-Curricular Activities. And tonight I was going to introduce all 7 of our new student senators. So if we're ready to do that, let me know, and I can give you the list of the senators who will need to be unmuted. Just let me know in the order you'd like me to go.
Absolutely. Why don't you can go right ahead right now. We would love to hear about our new senators.
Okay.
Go right ahead. Thank you.
Okay, so we have, for unmuting, we have Rosa Cruz, Azucena Hughes, T.T. Martinez, Daniel Schleschler, Clinton McCullough, and Leilani Williams. And so those folks are all, and Francisco Quintero, those folks are all unmuted. I'll go ahead and start the introductions. So you can let me know if they're all unmuted.
I have Rosa, Clinton, Azucena, you, Daniel, unmuted.
Clinton and Leilani.
I don't see Leilani.
Oh, she must have left. Okay, and Francisco Quintero.
I don't see them either.
Okay, all right, I'll start. So tonight I have the pleasure and honor of introducing the 2022-2023 student senators. I'd like to take a moment to thank our student life team for all their hard work with Welcome Week and with Student Senate. And I'd like to give a special thank you to Julia Machalak and Lupita Gomez for their work as the co-advisors to Student Senate. At this time, I'd like to introduce our student senators. So when your name is called, please introduce yourself, state your campus you represent and your role in Student Senate and your program of study and anything else you'd like to add. So I'm going to start with Daniel.
Hi, I'm Daniel Chancellor. I am the West Campus representative in Student Senate. I'm also the chair of Student Senate. And my current program of study is liberal arts. It's an honor to be here, and I'm happy to meet you all.
Thank you, Daniel. Clinton?
Hi, my name is Clinton McKillop, and I am the representative for the online campus at Pima College, and I am the co-chair and parliamentarian. I am currently on the programmer analyst path, so computer science studies, and I've started in Pima 2020. I've been 100% online. I actually have yet to step foot in a campus for a class yet. So I'm excited to represent the online campus, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Clinton. Azucena? So Azucena, are you here, Azucena? Azucena Hughes is the representative from Northwest Campus, and Azucena will also be the All-College Council representative. Rosa?
Hello.
Oh, hi, Azucena. Go ahead. Please introduce yourself.
I'm sorry.
No.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was checking my settings so I can talk to you all. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to represent all the senators, and it's an honor to be a voice for the students. I am the representative from the Northwest campus, and I'm going to college for biomedical engineering. So it's a pleasure to meet you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Rosa?
Good evening to all. My name is Rosa G. Cruz. I am the student senator representing East Campus. I am also the secretary for Student Senate, and my desired program of study is VETTEC, which is located at East Campus. And I just want to be able to reach out to students and help as much as we can. So if there are any students here or anyone that wants to bring up any issues to us as student senators, our email is pcc-studentsenators@pima.edu. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosa. Let me just check one more time. Francisco, did you make that? Leilani?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Hi, I'm Leilani Williams. I am the representative for the Desert Vista campus, and I'm so excited to be here. My major is in biology.
Thank you. And Titi? Hey, go ahead.
Hi, this is Julia Mahalik. I'm the co-advisor. Athena Martinez is what her name would be. She is here in the meeting. If she can be unmuted, please.
Thank you, Julia.
Go ahead, Athena.
Sorry. Hi, my name is Titi Martinez. I am your Student Senate representative for ABEC Downtown Campus. I am the Board of Governors representative. That is what my job is at Student Senate, and I go to school for IBEST, Building and Construction Technologies.
Thank you. So this is our 2022-2023 Student Senate representatives, and the board members should have received a handout with the bio and information and contact information for all of our student senators. Any questions?
No, thank you. Wow, that's a great group you've got there. We're really excited and we're very proud of you. And we look forward to working with the Student Senate in the future and to look forward to hearing from them. We need to hear more from the students on everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We need to know as a board. So thank you so much. Any questions from the board? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker is Dr. Nick Richmond. Call to the audience. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Members of the board, I have a personal comment that I would like to share with you today. I believe in finding the positives in everything, and that's why I'm speaking with you this evening. Around this time last year, I was diagnosed with stage 3 early onset colorectal cancer. I've had a year of chemo, radiation, and surgery. I only shared this with a small number of people, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the group who've known since the beginning and who have helped in really very substantial ways. I've really appreciated their support over the last year, and in particular, I would like to mention Özlem Kasira and the STAR team, Gail Bell, Tom Davis, Michael Parker, Wendy Weeks, Dave B., Marcy Ewer, and Gabi De Ekavari. I also want to thank my supervisor, Lee Lambert, who has been incredibly supportive and patient when I've had to delay or rearrange projects. He's reminded me regularly not to worry about work and to prioritize my health and family. I've really appreciated that he has prioritized my health and has given me space from work when I've needed it so I could focus on treatment. Thank you, Lee. My second point is this. None of us know what challenges we are each facing. This past year, I've been late with work, canceled meetings on short notice, and generally messed my colleagues around. It was unavoidable. Cancer treatment is tough. In pretty much every case, no one has complained and everyone has been flexible. Thanks to those of you who had no idea what was going on, but who didn't complain and just gave me flexibility when I needed it. That wasn't my experience 100% of the time, but it was for most of it. I'd like to remind everyone that we all have challenges we are dealing with, some of them very serious. Compassion and empathy are really important, and I encourage everyone at work to be considerate and aware that there may be issues going on that are impacting their colleagues when work is late or emails are missed. Lastly, I have no family history of this disease. In fact, I did the genetic tests and I have no genetic risk factors for any kind of cancer at all. I had one symptom that was dramatic enough that it got me to the doctor, and I'm fortunate that he sent me for tests and this was caught when it was. My world would be a whole lot different otherwise, as this could have easily reached stage 4 before it was caught. We're all busy people. It's easy to put off getting odd symptoms checked by a doctor or to make time for routine screenings. We never expect to be in our 40s and diagnosed with cancer. So please, everyone, tomorrow, if you are overdue for a medical screening or if you have an odd symptom of some kind, call a doctor's office and get the screening or an appointment scheduled. It could save your life. And that's a positive that leads me to be here today. I wanted to publicly thank the people who have helped me, but I also want to encourage everyone to get screened. If I can encourage one person to take steps to take care of their health, then it's worth me being here and sharing this comment today. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Richmond, for everything you've done for this college, but mostly for your bravery and for your selflessness by coming on today and sharing your story and giving us that very serious, very grave warning. We really appreciate you in so many ways, but mostly, please take care of yourself, and we're here with you, and we send our love and our well wishes. Thank you. And lastly, we have on our list, since the rest of these were student senators, we're really excited about them. I have I believe Ariana Torrejon. I'm not sure if that was one of the student senators, but there's a blank next to your name. Was that a student senator or is this another speaker? Ariana Torrejon. Maybe. She was part of the students. Okay, super. So we have one more speaker then, Mr. Matthew Thrower. Are you on Zoom?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Super. So my name is Matthew Thrower. I am the board chair for the board of directors of the Pima Foundation. And I wanted to report some great progress and great ways that the foundation is able to support the college. I lead the board of directors along with Brian Hanley, who's our past chair, Norm Rubenstoff, who's our treasurer, and Amber Smith, our secretary, making up the executive committee. This year, the foundation supports the students, programs, and faculty projects that are important to Pima Community College. Fiscal year 21-22, we distributed $354,500 for 447 awards worth of scholarships. So I'm going to say that number again. $354,500 in scholarships for 447 awards. That's pretty incredible. We've awarded program funds of $1,029,700 to the largest annual disbursement to date. So great program funds to departments within Pima Community College. The year 2022 to 2023, we anticipate similar disbursements and scholarships and additional expenditures to programs. So great progress this year, raising funds, supporting programs, and distributing scholarships. Now, really exciting is the Hillman Challenge Grant. The Hillman Challenge Grant is to raise $10 million to receive $5 million in match money through November 30th of 2024. And to date, $535,000 has been released of the $5 million due to this challenge. Calculating a third release and anticipate another 250 to 270K to be released later this year, and working on a number of large gifts to move steadily towards the important goal of the $10 million that will yield the $5 million in challenge grant money. So great progress, great success by the foundation. We thank the leadership of the foundation and Marcy and the entire team, and super proud to be able to support Pima Community College, its growth, and its great programs, and the Chancellor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Matthew, and we owe a great debt of gratitude to the Pima Foundation. Marcy, for all your work. Matthew, thank you so much for your staff and everybody that's making all of this possible. As everybody knows, with no state funding, we really rely on the efforts by the foundation and all of our benefactors in town, and otherwise we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So thank you so much. It's very much appreciated, all your hard work and all the stuff that you do behind the scenes that we don't even know about. So thanks for that. And I think that concludes our call to the audience. I will go to, and thanks to everybody, the call to the audience, for making your public statements. And we will, I assure you, the Chancellor and the board will get together and address those as necessary, and assign the appropriate staff to look into items that do need to be looked at. So thank you for that. The next item on the agenda, 1.5, is the Pima Mission moment. We have 10 minutes for that. Chancellor, would you like to introduce this topic?
Madam Chair, it gives me pleasure to introduce our new dean, who was recently promoted, James Palacios, dual enrollment in high school programs. James, turn it over to you.
Hello?
There he is.
I didn't hear, was there an introduction? I didn't hear that, I'm sorry.
You can go ahead, James.
Okay. So can everybody see my presentation?
Yes. Yes, thank you. Go ahead, James.
Okay, good evening, Madam Chair Ripley, members of the board, Chancellor Lambert, colleagues and guests on the call. Thank you for allowing me to provide a snapshot of our progress as your dual enrollment team here at Pima Community College. First, I'd like to say thank you for your continued support as we work towards developing and providing a new culture of educating our community and our community students. As a dean of dual enrollment and a former high school principal, including our department, we are most grateful for all the support that we're given here at Pima Community College. So with that, I'd like to just go over a presentation and just kind of talk about our data and our progress in the 3 years that we've been together. And as always, why do we want to support dual enrollment? And it's good for our local community. It proves our commitment as a college to our community students, our schools, and our county. It supports our overall increase of our footsie, and it's a jump start to a lot of the things that we're trying to accomplish here at Pima Community College that's aligned to achieve 60 Arizona. But most importantly, inside of that is building a stronger pipeline with our schools, helping increase our strategic goal of completing professional certificates or degrees, and increase access and beyond for affordability of our students affording post-secondary education. It's also helping us through this pandemic, really working on trying to align the things that we're doing in the high schools and at the college, aligning our workforce needs and really closing that gap. And so that's why it's a jumpstart that we begin in our high schools. So just a quick summary of our progress. Prior to me starting as a dean or as a director at that point of dual enrollment, we were up 2,290 students participating in dual enrollment. In 2019 and 20, that's when we were able to establish our department and bring in our coordinators, our program managers, and our staff members to help support this. So we increased our enrollment to 3,279. In 2020, 2021, our second year, we jumped up to 4,155. And this past year, we completed with 4,556 students, drawing in 8,047 of total enrollment. And that's approximately 2,600 students that my team was servicing per coordinator. Now, according to ADE, there's nearly 50,000 high school students that are residing here at Pima Community College, and also including Santa Cruz County. So last year, you supported the budget of adding positions that will help us with our transitioning of our dual enrollment students and our senior recruitment to target our high school seniors to come to Pima Community College. The fortunate part, it started in March. The unfortunate part, we only had a month to really work with our high school seniors, but we have a good start this year to really create some momentum and really drawing into what we want to do in terms of bringing students to our campus for to obtain their degrees. Here's just a little, well, it's not little, but this is huge, but just to kind of give you some perspective, as we're looking at our strategic plan, we've already surpassed our goal of 8% growth annually, but we're beyond that. So we're really working to try to go above and beyond the things that we're doing and make sure that we're supporting our goals for the community college, but more importantly, supporting our community and supporting our students. So this gives you an idea of our growth from before we started to what we ended last year. So we started with 2,495 prior to the dual enrollment department starting here at Pima Community College to ending at 8,047 this past year. Here's our 5-year trend of our FTSE growth. And we're seeing great improvements, great growth, and we just want to continue to support our schools and trying to figure out ways how we can support them to establish dual enrollment at their schools or grow what they already have. This here gives us a perspective of our demographics, our ethnicity groups participating in dual enrollment. When you look at the bottom left, our percentages of trans, we see American Indian and Alaskan Native, a 4.5% decrease. But why we see that is because we're seeing a lot of our students selecting 2 or more races. So what that is telling us is in that grouping, we're seeing a 33% increase of those particular students participating in dual enrollment at their high schools. For Black and African American, we see an 18% increase. Hispanic Latino, 7.5% increase, and those are our bigger groups. And for unknown populations, which we know that's a lot of our undocumented students, and that's a lot of our Hispanic students who prefer not to label what race they are at that particular, or they're at their schools. We're seeing a 52% increase there. So if we're talking about jump-starting here to meet our strategic goals, more specifically, double the completer counts of Hispanic, Latino, American Indian, Alaskan Native, and Black or African American learners by 2024, 2025, we're seeing in those groups, we're seeing increase of participation in dual enrollment at the high schools of 37% of these groups. Now, overall, including all ethnicities, we're seeing a 40% increase of participation in all of our ethnicities. So what that's telling us is in that percentage of trend of groups that we're targeting for our strategic goal, we're seeing a huge increase and a huge participation with that group, those groups. So I want to introduce our dual enrollment team. For those of you that have not had the opportunity to talk to them or meet with them, Manny Carrillo is our manager. Kathleen Kent is our administrative assistant. Susana Armenta is our academic advisor who retired last year but came back to help us. Mary Morales is our advanced program coordinator. Selena Ortega is our academic advisor. And Carolina Sestiaga is our advanced program coordinator. For our transition team, our coaches who are working with our high school seniors in their schools, applying to Pima, supporting FAFSA completion applications, going through all that part, trying to draw those students here. We have Tyler Vertrees, Brianna Felix, Quinn Sweeney, Christy Monreal, and Kathleen Murphy. That's our transition team. So with that, I have two special guests that joined us today. They're former students of dual enrollment at their high school, and they both come to us with unique stories. First, I'm just gonna say with Logan Eagle, I think she's still with us here. I know she had connection issues, but Logan Eagle was a past student of mine when I was a Santa Rita principal. She graduated high school with 28 dual enrollment credits and is here with us as a liberal arts major here at Pima. Solal Lucero is a unique story as well. When I was a principal, her superintendent of schools reached out to me and asked me, I'm hearing that your students are completing college credit while in high school. How is that possible? How are you doing that? So through that conversation, established a dual credit program at Saurita High School. And because of that conversation, it created an opportunity for students like Solal to take advantage of completing dual credit while in high school, and she completed 23 credits while she was there. They've joined me today. They're here to answer any questions if anybody from the board or leadership would like to ask them. Solal and Logan, are you with us?
Yeah.
Okay, so Madam Chair, board members, if you would like to ask any questions to our two wonderful past dual enrollment students who are our current students, please feel free to ask them any questions you would like.
Fellow board members, do you have any questions? Go ahead.
I have a question. This is Damian Klinko. I'm just curious if you could just share with us the value that you saw in doing the dual enrollment program and how it's impacting how you see your future now.
Who would like to answer that?
I'll answer that one.
Logan?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys can hear me all that well. I don't have great service over here.
We can hear you.
Okay, wonderful. So it's impacted me a lot because with the dual enrollment classes, we're able, with my program of study, I was able to take all the gen eds before. And so now going into my freshman year of college, I'm able to just skip right to my prerequisites, which has gotten me farther ahead. And along with those dual credits that I also got were from JTED, which has farthered me into my studies and everything. And yeah.
Oh, we might have lost her connection. Sorry.
Any other questions from board members? James, we have one. Board Member Gonzalez.
Yes.
Outstanding presentation, Mr. Palacios. I have a couple of questions. I know that that you expressed that the dual enrollment has gone up. That's great news for all of us. One of the things that I am concerned, I've always been concerned in reference to our Southwest area high schools, for example, Choya, Tucson High, Pueblo, but also the Autumn High School, that's Hassan as well too. Has there been a lot of increase in reference to our that population going up?
So there has been increase of conversations and meeting to try to create some opportunities for them to be out there. You know, for example, like in Choya, a lot of the high schools, it's driven by leadership, right? So in Choya, which could be to our benefit and to the students' benefit, mostly not ours, but we have a new principal there at Choya High School who actually I know and established friendships with him for quite some time. He's very interested in dual credit. So what he had asked me to do is to bring my staff in to do a presentation to their one of their staff meetings to talk to them about what it takes to become dual credit certified. So we're going to be doing that here at the end of this month to kind of start talking about those opportunities for those teachers that are on the campus, or even provide them access to the Arizona Teacher Academy program, which does now support certification for dual credit teachers that are interested. That's that part. Pueblo is another one that we are really working with as well. And that one, they have increased drastically in the last 2 to 3 years. Just for example, in the last 2 years, they've grown about 133% of students participating in dual credit opportunities. But yeah, we're working with them. We're trying to establish an online program. That one's a little bit more trickier, but we're trying to create an easier way for the students or schools who are having a hard time finding instructors to have access to the online programming in terms of dual enrollment. So we're trying to establish that so that we can help support schools that are interested in dual credit.
Thank you. The other question that I had is, you mentioned new leadership. I know that Mr. Armenta, the previous principal, left at the end of the year. I haven't met with the new principal. I was very familiar and knew Mr. Armenta for years and years and years.
Yeah. Yes.
But one of the things that
same here.
One of the things that I'm glad to hear reference to the increase of our Native American students. But more important, one of the other things that I share with Lambert is our Chancellor, Mr. Lambert is and I want to address you in reference to the course offerings in reference to those high schools as well too. I did see part of the schedule. I think we can do better.
Yes.
To me, I think it's we need to offer more reference to opportunities for those high schools as well too. Is that in the progress? Is that in the process, or are we looking at that?
Yeah, and I agree with that. And for all the schools, I want to make sure that we try to increase it as much as we possibly can. And yes, and that's already a part of the discussion. As a matter of fact, it's ironic. This weekend, I was texting with the new principal there at Choya High School, and he was asking me, this is how we started the conversation, is that how do we get increase more dual credit at my campus? Our IB scores came in, and I think we can do better with providing a dual credit program for these kids. They could probably benefit from this for those that are not in that program. So the conversation's already happening. We're as a matter of fact, one of the pilot classes that we were working on last year, and we're finally offering it at Choya is one of them, Pueblo is the second one, is the Mexican American Studies 165 is a course that we really been trying to work on getting there. But the last time we offered it was when I was at Santa Rita High School. And it was a different course number, but there was a gap there, but then the conversation started happening again. So these kind of unique situations, we want to provide for high schools. And yes, the conversations are happening, and he wants to try to see if he can double his offerings next school year with conversations and helping instructors become qualified, or if we provide an option of online to them as well.
One last question, sir. In reference to the dual enrollment, I'm a firm believer on that too. In fact, I have several of my grandkids that were very and are still taking those dual enrollments in high school as well too. But I think it provides the not only the opportunity, but more importantly, the experience in reference to what is the college system, what is the college what does it take. But I'm very happy to see the advisors that support this. And one of the things I would like to do is meet with you as well too in the near future. And like I mentioned, I think those conversations have begun, but I think one of the components that's very important and critical, as I mentioned before many times, is the parent component. I think not only the students, but also your staff need to do the roundtables with the parents as well too. Thank you for doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you. And you know, if you want to meet the new principal out, for example, at Choya, by all means, just let me know and I'll get in connection with you and we can just get an introduction.
It's a deal.
Great. I think we have one more question. Board Member Garcia.
Hi. Thank you so much for doing such a wonderful job. It's I'm very impressed with the efforts you've made and what you've accomplished. One of my questions is, what percentage of students complete when they take dual enrollment classes? Have you measured that? And then my second question is, what kind of barriers have you seen that they may have? Are you aware of those?
So when you're talking complete, are you talking complete a degree and certificate? Is that?
Well, it's the dual enrollment class. They sign up for for classes. I mean, I know high school students drop out, right? They drop a class or whatever. So I'm asking, when they sign up for dual enrollment, I'm pretty sure that most all of these are kids that are striving to do a heck of a lot better than your normal students, because they made that effort. But the other thing is, are you seeing people stop, like, pull out of the class for whatever reasons? And do you understand those? And if that's the case, what's the percentage of students that get out of it? And what kind of barriers do they have and the reasons for that?
So a percentage that we're very proud of, that is, I think we all can, is we have a success rate of over 90% of this. We're probably about 94% this year, but meaning that they're successful, receiving good grades, C and above. So we don't see a lot of students that are dropping out of these courses. So when we start at the beginning of the year, it's very minimal. So what's really nice is that they still have the support structure at their high school. So whenever they need some extra support, they still go through their Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday college course, but the other days that they're not in their college course, they're able to talk to their counselors at the high school, communicate with us, be able to look for support, tutoring at any of our community college campuses. The support structure is very strong when they're in a dual enrollment program, which is very unique to anything else, any other type of program. So we're very proud of that, and we stand behind that, because that's what dual enrollment is supposed to do. It's supposed to support our underrepresented populations. And so now that we see that our underrepresented populations are increasing the enrollment in these schools, I think what's happening is they're starting to understand that, dual credit is probably a better fit for me. So that's probably why we're seeing a huge increase right now, because of the support structures that they have, not only at the school, but the supports that they could have from us as well.
Thank you so much. You're doing a fantastic job. I really appreciate your efforts.
Thanks,
Thank you.
and I guess we have another question.
So one last question for sure.
Okay, and before you go on, you're feel free to ask it, but I think what this might call for, because I talk to you all the time, James, and I always am just bending your ear, and I've heard all of this before, but I know you have much more to share with us. Perhaps this might be, if the board agrees, a really great study session for us all to really learn in-depthly all about the dual enrollment program, especially since you're doing such a bang-up job. But if you'd like, we could have a whole study session dedicated to listening to you and your team, James. But I don't know if you have another. We're way behind, but go ahead.
Well, I look forward to the study session. The last question that I had, Mr. Palacio, is the instructors. In reference to the dual enrollment being taught either by online or on-site, I think that's one component that really needs to be looked at, and we'll probably hear from yourself in reference to be more reflective of the community, but I'm more concerned in reference to the instructors as well too, and those Southwest High School that I mentioned. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for that. And when you talk about a barrier, those are some things that we're going to have to work on. And obviously, that's just because it's two entities trying to work with each other, and then we're trying to find those dual enrollment instructors. It gets a little challenging sometimes, but I think we can come up with a plan to kind of attack that and be able to improve that for our schools as well.
Thank you so much. Oh, go ahead.
Not only attack, but meet that challenge as well too.
Oh yeah, well, we're up to that, and that's something that we're willing to do because we want to try to create a new culture of educating our community.
Thanks, James. Thank you so much. And you guys are superstars, and that transition and recruitment team are superheroes. Thank you so much for leading the way, and we look forward to hearing from you, and we'll talk more about a study session. How's that?
And congratulations.
Thank you for your support. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for all you've done. So it looks like we got the air conditioning fixed. I was going to take a break, but I think we'll charge ahead here now that we have AC. Next, we have 20 minutes for reports from our administrators and representatives to the board. Chancellor, would you like to introduce the first speaker?
Madam Chair, I'd love to introduce Dr. Nick Richmond, who will talk about the administration reports and timeline that we want to share with you. Nick? Okay, there you go.
Thank you, Chancellor Lambert. Chair Ripley, members of the board, Chancellor Lambert, colleagues and guests. As the Chancellor introduced, I'm here to speak briefly about a proposed set of administrative reports for the Wednesday evening governing board meetings. Accompanying the brief slides that I'll use today is an executive summary available in the board materials, and that executive summary provides additional information. The proposed reports for the board meeting for fall are listed on the slide here, and the topics are framed around the Chancellor's goals. There is also a monthly update related to the Higher Learning Commission, with each update presented by Wendy Weeks and the co-chairs from one of each of the 5 criteria for accreditation. The proposed reports moving into the spring follow much the same theme, so a follow-up report related to the Chancellor's goals. Please note that in February and March, when these are proposed here, those goals will not yet be complete. Some items may be done, but some may not be, but this will provide an update on progress. The HLC updates continue throughout the spring. And in addition, in April and May, we propose providing a report on some of the major plans at the institution. So the Strategic Enrollment Management Plan, the Climate Action and Sustainability Plan, and of course, the Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Plan, which is actually reflected here in March. Enrollment planning is included both in the fall and the spring as well. And a final report related to our progress towards Achieve 60 and the strategic plan. I should note, not listed here, but an additional proposed topic for May, based on a discussion with Wendy Weeks, is to add an additional HLC update that month, that time focusing on federal compliance, which is a very important area of our next visit. In addition to the oral reports and executive summaries that will accompany them, at the Wednesday board meetings, we are also proposing this list of written reports to be distributed to the governing board, primarily via email in the approximate months listed here. This includes the reports that were released to the board last year, such as the FTSE report from the state, the Voluntary Framework of Accountability Outcomes reports, but it includes some additional items that are unique for this year. So a report on the college employee satisfaction survey and the engagement surveys, both of which were administered last year. They're not annual, but we do have updates to provide to the board this year. We also have some additional reports that we plan to bring online this year, including an annual institutional effectiveness report, which will look institution-wide and share with the board progress and opportunities for improvement moving forward. So these are the topics for discussion, and I would like to open this up for input from the governing board to see if this meets your needs, if there are other topics you would like to see included.
Thank you so much, Dr. Richmond. Any comments or questions from the board?
Ms. Richmond, Dr. Richmond, can you include in the report when you do the climate survey, the percentage of people that actually participate or try to increase it? Because last time the participation was fairly low.
Absolutely. I'll be pleased to include that.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Dr. Richmond? Thank you so much for all the work you've been doing. I know that's a lot of work, and it's just a list of reports, but I can't imagine how much work goes behind putting together each and every one of those reports. So thank you to you and your staff for keeping us on our toes. Thanks a lot. And our next report.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
pleased to introduce Dr. Wendy Weeks. I got to get used to. Madam Chair, I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Wendy Weeks, who will give us an HLC update as it pertains to multi-campus visit, multi-location visit, as well as getting ready for our reaffirmation process. Wendy?
Good evening, Chair Ripley, members of the board, Chancellor Lambert, and guests. Hopefully you can see my screen, and I am unable to find my video, so I'm going to proceed. Sorry about that. So the first thing I would like to say is I really want to thank and make this public to Ariana Laguna. She is on loan to me, who is helping me with HLC items that are going on right now. So we do have additional location visits coming up. This is a normal behavior that the HLC does. It occurs approximately every 5 years, so this is not anything that has come up that is special or anything of the sort. This is just a normal behavior. The one thing I did want to point out is on these additional locations is they are looking at the programs that are taught at these additional locations. The additional locations are listed on the left. This is where they're going to be visiting, and the programs are listed on the right. The piece we need to be really careful about is their definition of a program. A program to the HLC does not match Pima's definition. It's when 50% of the courses of a program are offered at a location. So, for example, we do have some programs from Pima's definition that only have one course in it. If that one course is offered at an additional location, it's considered a program to the HLC. So just keep in mind that their definition is a little bit different. So these are the visit locations coming up. Right now, we have one scheduled in February for February 14th, 15th, and 16th. And there will be 2 more in March. We do not have the dates for March yet. So that was the first HLC update. Here's the second one. So the second one is our assurance argument that's coming up. The assurance argument will be in fall of 2024 or spring of 2025. We don't have that date yet. And on the left are the various criterion. So we have 1 through 5. And I also want to mention I have added federal compliance this time because federal compliance has as much to do with our 1 through 5 criterion, but they really haven't been included before. So my first thing is thank you, Dr. Richmond, for adding federal compliance to part of the presentation. We really need to get them in the groove so that we know where their gaps are and what's going on with them. And if there's anything that we need to help them with. Next to each criterion are the leads. So you can see the name of the leads on there in the middle. And to the right is what criterion 1 is. So criterion 1 is the mission. There are subcomponents underneath of that, but these are the people who are going to lead those areas. And my last one here, this is what I call the gap timeline. So since they aren't going to be here until fall of 24 or spring of 25, we actually have to start working right now. And this is for our gaps. Gaps are any areas where we have already identified previously that we are missing components, we aren't doing it, or they're areas that the HLC has pointed out to us that need work. So right now we are working on the gaps. In August of this year, all of the criterion leads got together and submitted their gap sheet. So this sheet has a list of areas that we self-identified or that the HLC identified last time that we needed to put more energy and effort and have more evidence in. From September to May of 2023, these plans, based off the gaps that have been identified, we're going to implement these plans. So several areas have plans to make sure they have evidence. And by June 24 to July 24, we're going to evaluate the data from those gaps. So evaluating the data, then we can implement some continuous quality improvement starting in August of 24. Oh, I don't have those dates right. Yeah, I guess I do. So that's what's going on with HLC right now. Those are the two items, is our assurance argument coming up and also the site visits. So I'm done pending your questions, and I can find my video now.
Yes, any questions from Board Member Klinko?
Yes, thank you, Chair Ripley. Ms. Weeks, could you, in the past, as these reports have come to the board, it's been very helpful to sort of have a very structured approach in terms of identifying where those gaps are and then the progress that we are making towards fixing it. And we in the past have employed a very rudimentary green, yellow, red light approach, which I think was really helpful for providing a real graphic sort of assurance to the board of how the progress we were making, how far we were, and really the speed with which we needed to complete that prior to the visit. Do you anticipate, or could you create a tool, because as we move into this sort of next cycle, I suspect you'll be back to the board fairly regularly reporting out. And I will leave it at that.
Thank you, Mr. Klinko. Actually, we already have it. It's done. It's ready. I actually was contemplating bringing it. It's already been designed. It's a great dashboard that was created by Stephen Ebel from my office. The only problem is, since we're working on gaps, a lot of it looks blank right now. And so having to try and explain the blanks that we have, because we are only working on the gaps, I decided to wait. We may be presenting it next month when Criterion 1 goes. I'll be here, but so will the leads who actually know the information in depth and where those gaps are and where our struggles are. I may ask them to bring that dashboard with them. So thank you.
So, Chairwoman Ripley, so maybe we could we can put this on a future study session rather than doing it piecemeal, as you sort of have the full gap document together, and then you could really report out over a much more in-depth period with all of the leads available to answer questions, as to sort of provide an effective snapshot of where we're at versus a piecemeal approach. I think that might be useful for the board.
And we do have that ready,
agreement.
so thank you.
Yeah, no, I think thank you, Board Member Klinko. I think that's a great idea. But yeah, and Wendy, thank you so much for working on this behind the scenes. It seems a way off, but really it's around the corner. And by virtue of the fact that we're thankful that somebody's looking at this and that you're on it, because it is something very serious that we all take serious on the board. And I think, yeah, a study session probably would be in order for us to fully understand what's coming ahead. Any other questions from the board? Thank you so much, Wendy. Chancellor.
Madam Chair, our final administrative report is going to be presented by Dr. David B., an update on classification and compensation, and this will also be followed up with a study session to do a little deeper dive. Dave?
Good evening, Chair Ripley, members of the board, Chancellor Lambert, colleagues and guests. It is my pleasure to do a very quick overview of an update of where we're at with our class compensation implementation. As the board knows, they approved a new structure for both staff classification and faculty classification through the budget process and a special action item in June. The goal, as we have discussed, and I'm not going to go through all these slides because some of these are recapping where we've been, but we had an old compensation structure that was 22 years old, had a lot of problems associated with it, particularly related to compression, where people were, no matter how many years of experience they had in their positions at the college, they were at the minimum of the grade level, is the quick and dirty summary of what the biggest problem was. There were a number of other problems that we had, and the idea with the class comp adjustment was to have a big study done where jobs were, the job descriptions were redone and reviewed by an external partner, and then tied to market positions and market wages. And then a new proposed structure was put in place and recommended and then approved. Where we're at right now, this is a quick nerdy of what was impacted by it. There were more than 1,000 positions, well over 1,000 positions impacted by the study. About 60% of those positions in total received increases that were above the minimum. That is, that the new salary structures, whether it's for staff or faculty, resulted in increases that were greater than $2,000. And as the board knows, we also proposed and you all approved a minimum increase for folks that was $2,000 above the prior year pay. So about 60% of people received more than the $2,000, and then about 40% received that minimum increase that we just talked about. Giving some averages, the average increase across the board was around 9%. And the average increase for those who moved on to the new schedules were about $8,000. It was a notable increase for lots of people at the college, and I think puts the college in a good position to be able to attract and retain the talent that we need to do the jobs at the college. Okay, so where we're at right now is we're in an appeals process where individuals have received their information early in July, or actually it was a little bit before July, about their placement. And if they have any questions, they've been encouraged to either submit a formal appeal or to contact HR to walk through how the placement works. To date, we've received a little bit over 200 appeals. More than half of those have been resolved already. And this chart on the side, if you look at it, shows essentially the flow of the appeals, how they've come in since this program rolled out. And then the blue line shows how many are resolved. So the difference between the blue and the orange is essentially those are the ones yet to be resolved. So there's around 90 that are still in the works. A lot of those in the works still are just job description related, and they may involve more than one position, so that the HR group, the class comp folks, are working with a number of different areas right now to sort of make it clear that among multiple people that the job description fits their job duties when they have similar duties, and if they have unique duties, that those get identified. Title changes, those kinds of things. The majority of the appeals are job title and description related. There are a handful of adjustments that have happened where people identified that they had more years of experience in the position than we had in our records, and they showed that and then have worked through that. So there are a number of those kinds of appeals are processed relatively quickly. And then some other minor pay adjustments are resolved relatively quickly. So we're making good progress with that. We extended the deadline. That was one of the things that we heard from employees early on, was they wanted a little bit more time to process it. So we extended the appeal deadline to be the end of September, so that will set us up to, as Chancellor Lambert mentioned, to do a thorough debrief with the board in an upcoming study session where we can follow up on what the appeals were, give a really more comprehensive overview of the impacts and the information related to how were positions changed, how were they impacted, how did that roll out, and then what work we need to do remaining. As we've talked about, this is going to be a continuous improvement effort. It is by no means perfect yet, and there is a fair amount of work that still is outstanding. As mentioned, we're going to be concluding the appeals, continuing to refine and revise the communication so that making it clear how the system works for folks. It's a change. It is a big change for the staff side in particular. So making it, trying to provide as much information as possible so that they understand how the new system works. We will be reinstating the steering committees, and we're working with AERC on some specific issues and communicating on a regular basis with them. There's a meeting with some of the faculty reps tomorrow, in fact, and the staff meeting is coming up in the next week or so. Some of the work that, as we've talked about with the board, that is upcoming, will be working on defining the parameters around performance-based pay and how that would fit into the structure. And then other adjustments that might be related to hard to fill positions, alternate educational attainment, things like that we've talked with the board about. So those are still upcoming, and we're going to be getting those groups back together to have more conversation so that we can then build it into the upcoming budget process and any recommendation that we do next year. So with that, the one other thing is that we had a really good, more comprehensive conversation with the the board's HR committee last Friday, and got into a little more detail than we're getting into tonight, and we'll continue to keep that group updated as well. So with that, I'll ask if the board has any questions for me at this time.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. B, for that. And we do have some questions. But first, I want to thank you and the team. This was a Herculean effort that was a long time in coming, so we don't want to look back and figure out why that happened. But it was an overdue process, and you got it done. I was at the HR committee meeting last week where I was able to ask the hard questions, probably uncomfortable, awkward questions. So thank you for that. Thank you and Carlene for answering those questions very directly. Because this for many people, salary is an emotional topic. So thank you for your sensitivities and for answering all of the questions. One of the things before I go on, I have two things I want to say. But the first thing is I do want to applaud a couple things, and that is the fact that our minimum wage is at $16.15, which is well above Tucson's minimum wage of $13 and well above the federal. I think Tucson just raised theirs to $13.85. So ours at $16.15 is pretty, it's amazing, and I thank you for making that happen and doing the magic that you had to do for that. And also the across the board $2,000 to $3,000 raise and the 7 to 12% raises for the majority of our employees. I think it's noteworthy, and I think a lot of people appreciate it. It is a game changer for a lot of people, especially at that minimum wage region. So thank you for that. But with every project of this magnitude, we get a lot. There's a sigh of relief. It's done. It took a lot of time, but as everyone knows, and a lot of people may have mentioned at the HR committee meeting, there's going to be a lot of lessons learned, and I look forward to hearing about those. None of these, something of this magnitude is bound to have lessons learned and a lot of imperfections, if you will. So I appreciate that you're going to reinstate the committees and please ensure that everybody who wants a voice will get a voice. I think that will be really important. Working closely with the ARC and the ERGs is going to be hugely important. Just in the spirit of shared governance with the ERC, I know you're going to do this, and we look forward to seeing the implementation first, and then let's go back so that the next time is an even better process. I'm sure it was painful, but you got it done, so thank you for that. And with that, we do have a couple comments. Yes, Board Member Garcia.
Dr. B, I'm just trying to understand this graph, and I'm not sure. Okay, so we're saying that there's a placement in new scales. So there's 515 staff, and then 165 faculty, 680 total. There's more staff and more faculty than that. Am I correct, or am I wrong?
Absolutely. Those represent the number of discrete positions that were used in summarizing the information. So
Okay.
there's a lot more people who are impacted than what is indicated here.
Okay, so when I look at the percentage of positions adjusted, faculty 73%, so that means 22% were not adjusted, and on the staff 56, so that would be, I think it's 40 or 34, 44 maybe. So that means that they weren't adjusted. I guess my next question is, what happened to those other people?
So the people who, so when it says that they're adjusted, that means that those positions were moved up more than $2,000 into the new schedules. So the adjustments were quite significant. The percentages that less one minus those, so 40% overall, it's about 44% of staff positions. Those are the individuals who received the minimum increase of $2,000 more than the prior year pay.
And
so it's around 40%, 27% for the two different groups. Again, 40% total received minimum increases of a $2,000 increase over the prior year. The other people received more than that because they were placed up into the schedule. So in other words, the target on the scale was higher and they got higher adjustments than $2,000.
Okay, well, I would agree that I would like a study session with your agreement, with the board's agreement on, to understand the compensation a little bit better, because, we get complaints and we want to fully understand what's going on. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Any other questions? Yes, Board Member Gonzalez.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. B. I was also there at the meeting, and there's a lot of information that was shared. I know that the meeting, they were said that the number of the faculty and staff that we have, basically, the appeals was about 20%, correct?
It's in that neighborhood, yes.
Yeah, the 200 will equal about 20%. The one item that, like I mentioned, there was a lot of positive information that was shared, but also there were rumors and I forgot the the word that they mentioned. What I'm trying to say is that of all of the 20%, so they pretty much provides the 80%. Are all our staff and faculty happy at this point? I know that the deadline was extended, and the deadline was extended to September 30th, so we actually have about 2 weeks left, correct?
Yes.
Okay. The other thing, too, that I wanted to share is that I know that, I don't know in reference to reinstate, but I guess at the HR committee meeting, it was mentioned that we still recruiting for HR members to be on the advisory group.
Yes. People in the community to serve on the board's committee, yes.
Not complete yet. How many are still not complete?
I think we'd like to get at least 3 more members to really fill out that group effectively.
Well, repeat that again, please.
I think we're looking for at least 3 more members of the community to fill out that board, that committee.
And I confirm and reaffirm what Ms. Garcia mentioned. I think we need to study session on this. The other last question that I want to share with you is that I think it's good that we have this compensation thing. There was a lot of good information. I liked it, and I'm glad I was there as well too. Unfortunately, things happen. I know that we almost went to reschedule because we didn't have a quorum, and that's my concern that I had. Correct? Correct?
Yeah, we were in that committee meeting there.
Yeah.
We needed to have another member join to have a full quorum.
Yeah,
so
that's
we were
almost correct.
for a little
Okay.
while. Yeah.
Thank you, and I hope to meet with the study session with reference to HR and the compensation program. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you so much, Dr. B. And we look forward to the completion of the implementation of this class comp study. And Next on the agenda, I think, are the reports by representatives to the board. We have 20 minutes, and our first representative will be the adjunct faculty report by Sean Mendoza. Sean, are you on?
Yes. Oh, well, there we go.
Great.
All right, great.
Hi.
Chairwoman Ripley, Chancellor Lambert, members of the board, and honored guests. On behalf of the adjunct faculty, I want to thank the board and the college administration for your continued support. Thank you, Chancellor Lambert, for attending and answering questions at our September meeting. Your insight and the role of adjunct faculty on the future of the college was appreciated. Since the May board meeting, the college adopted a number of additions to the employee handbook, most notably the adjunct faculty two-tier system, available to full and part-time faculty. Many people were involved in the development of the tiered system. It was through the leadership of the Provost's office, Kate Schmidt, administration, Dr. David B., and Dr. Sarah Jensen of our adjunct faculty group that this important initiative was presented and adopted by the board. Thank you. Having completed this task, it may be easy to sit on our laurels. Unfortunately, it still does not address some of the more pressing benefits issues adjunct faculty live with every day. I would ask that the board and the college administration please support a third tier, which would go beyond recognizing years of service and professional development, which is required for Tier 2. This third tier would identify and support the outstanding adjunct faculty who play an integral role in the governance and success of our students every day. A lot of work still needs to be done, but I know that with the leadership of the Provost's office and the financial wizardry of Dr. David B., we can also find a way to move this initiative forward. Lastly, I wanted to say thank you to the board for your kind words during your June meeting. As an adjunct faculty member nearly 3 decades ago, I remember being forbidden from speaking in meetings at the college, which is in stark contrast to speaking to you today at this board meeting. With your help and support, we've made some great strides in supporting our students by providing adjunct faculty with access to professional development funds. I believe we still have more to accomplish, like ensuring adjunct faculty are timely compensated for all meetings, integral to policy development and student success. As always, thank you to the board and the college administration for your continued support. This ends my report.
Thank you, Sean. Any comments from the board? And again, Sean, I've said this to you, I say this to you every time I see you, but without the adjunct faculty, I don't know where this or any college would be. So you were vital to this school, and I think the adjunct faculty are incredibly lucky to have you as their voice, as a representative, and I'm happy that you are comfortable enough to speak freely and to let us know what you need, because we will do everything we can to help you out, because you are so vital. Thank you. Next report by representatives to the board is a staff report by Erica Elias. Erica, are you here?
Yes. Good evening, Chairperson Ripley, members of the board, Chancellor, and guests. Student Affairs hosted a Super Saturday starting the end of July and through the month of August. And those Super Saturdays were held to help students register for classes. We had large student turnouts. We also connected them with resources for financial aid, ADR, and other needs and resources that the students were requesting. So we were really excited about that. Also on August 26th, the Behavioral Health Summit was held with local employers to address the needs of behavioral health. That will conclude my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? And again, I repeat my comments from Sean. Erica, without the staff, I don't know where we would be. The doors open and the lights stay on. So, the day-to-day work that you do is not overlooked by us on the board. We appreciate you. Thank you. Next, we have faculty report from Denise Riley.
Hello, good evening, Chair Ripley, governing board members, Chancellor Lambert, colleagues. My name is Denise Riley, and I'm your continued Faculty Board of Governor representative. My role is to serve as a conduit between the faculty body and the board, as well as administrative leadership at the college. Faculty are excited about the new year, more challenges, more in-person classes, and increased enrollment at the college. As your representative, faculty senators, officer teams are working hard to continue our goals of transparency and shared governance among faculty at the college. At All College Day, faculty were present during Chancellor remarks as well as afternoon faculty sessions. While the messaging was very unclear, many faculty felt that faculty public acknowledgement is lacking and in fact a bit disparaging. There was a lack of clarity and focus in the annual message. Later, at a later meeting, the Chancellor clarified his message as explaining that the landscape of education is changing and that Arizona is failing our K-12 public education system with action for PCC. As a reminder, I'm a proud 23-year public educator in the state of Arizona in K-12 education and higher ed. I can say one thing that K-12 public education does get right, and PCC could learn from. They create a supportive environment for teachers, and administrators support the teachers with the main goal and focus of allowing teachers the ability to do their jobs and do it well. No school is successful without great teachers, which require great administrative support, guidance, and leadership. No teacher stays in the job of K-12 public education with low pay and difficult working conditions without a positive culture and community of support. On behalf of faculty, I ask the board, chancellor, and administrative leadership teams to remember that the heart and soul of education begins in the classroom with the faculty, and in turn directly impacts student success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Denise, and I would like, thank you very much for your honesty in expressing your views. And as someone who's marched miles in my Red for Ed T-shirt, I'll let the Chancellor speak to this, but I hope that message was actually misheard, because K through 12, the teachers are superheroes. They really are. I mean, as a mother, preschool through 12, really, those are the people that should be getting all the awards and accolades, because they are, as you said, the lifeblood of our future in our community, leading into Pima Community College. But with that said, it's the direction is really not, it's not at all at the teachers, it's at state funding. It's at the lack of support that we've been getting in Arizona for teachers. We're number 49, sometimes 50 in the country for support to teachers, for teacher salary, and for student support and per student funding. So this is why we work so hard at Pima Community College to get any funding we can from anywhere that we can, because we don't get state funding. K through 12, you know, those teachers took a huge hit in 2008, 2009, and they have not recovered. So this is something that this is why we have dual enrollment, and Pima doesn't charge for it. And this is the reason why, and yeah, we don't say it enough, but you are the lifeblood of Pima Community College, as is preschool through K, the lifeblood of our world. And if I don't say that enough, I'm really sorry, but it's near and dear. I know to my heart, and I'm pretty sure I speak for everyone on this board. I mean, if it weren't for you, I know I cheer on the adjuncts because I feel the adjuncts don't get cheered on, and maybe I'm assuming that we publicly acknowledge you more than we do, but I guess that was a bad assumption, because please know, this is the reason we're here. You are the front lines of this school. I mean, this is the only reason we're here, is because of the amazing faculty we have. I brag about you guys all the time, and it needs to be said to your face a little bit more, and I know that now. But I'd like to let the Chancellor maybe comment as well, because this is very important. Chancellor.
Oh, thank you, Board Chair. The faculty are the core of everything we do. We would not be able to achieve the level of success at this college without the faculty. And I say that always, especially when I'm out in the community. We wouldn't have been recognized by the Harvard Project but for the great work of the faculty. So I want you all to know that. when I'm talking about K-12, I'm not talking about the faculty or the staff. This state has not done a good, I should say, a good job, minimum, of supporting what's going on in K-12 education. That's why those outcomes are the way they are, and we feel it the most in this community. Also, we're not supported, as the board chair pointed out, here at Pima Community College or at Maricopa Community College. And so those are the things I'm talking about when I address all of you. But also, I also feel like it's my job to point out the gaps, which represent opportunities for us to close those gaps. And I believe Pima has stepped up in a major way to do that, and that would not happen without the faculty. The micro pathways, that's because of faculty, not because I say so or Ian Rourke says so or anybody else says so. It happens because of the faculty. We created an AIT program in collaboration with Pinal County, so that's Central Arizona, and Maricopa County, because of the faculty. We would not have pulled that off but for the faculty. What I'm really focused on is making sure that we continue to support you, make sure that we bring the humanities to the level of relevancy that they should enjoy. The humanities are getting shorted, not just here in the state of Arizona, but across the country, and it's reflected in the enrollment. I think a lot of it has to do with how we reframe it, make it more relevant, and that's what you've seen us do on the CTE side. I believe we can do that on the humanities and liberal arts side, and that's what I'm here for. And I'm committed to making sure that we deliver on that. But I'm going to push us. You can always hear me push us, and because I know we can always do better. But Pima is a leader, and that's in large part because of the faculty. But I also don't want to shortchange the staff. We would not be able to do what we do without the supporting cast. So it's not one group versus another. It's how we all work in our respective lanes to be a team to accomplish the level of success that we have enjoyed up till now.
Yeah, thank you, Chancellor. It truly is a team effort, and with that, I'll say it again. I say it every meeting. As a former military person, yeah, you guys are the boots on the ground in the front line, and we acknowledge that. We know that. We applaud it, and we appreciate it, and we need to say it more. So thank you so much, Denise, for bringing that up. Appreciate it. Next up, and last on the representatives' reports is Administrator Report by Jim Craig.
Chair Ripley, Chancellor Lambert, distinguished board, fellow representatives, PCC family and friends. My name is Jim Craig. I'm the Dean of Business and Information Technology, and I will be your administrative board representative for the year. The administration is very excited about the start of the fall 2022 semester and students returning to class, with overall college enrollment up 6.7% over fall of 2021. This semester starts off with the hope and promise for even more students to pursue and achieve their goals. All of the campuses have had wonderful welcome back celebrations for their faculty, staff, and students. For example, East Campus welcomed students back with a new game room area at the front, by the front entrance and bookstore. I even heard about a certain dean and campus vice president who showed up some players how it is really done with foosball. No names, but good job, Nina. In July, Pima Online received recognition at the annual D2L conference with a D2L Excellence Award. Now, D2L is our learning management system. Pima was one of the first colleges nationally to design and host an educator conference that repurposed D2L as a conference management system, including using two-dimensional and three-dimensional collaboration tools. Special thanks to Reed Dixon and Josie Milliken. The Aviation Center ribbon cutting event is scheduled for Monday, October 17th. This was preceded by the SkyWest Airlines August 31st donation of a CRJ-200 airplane to our aviation technology program. This will help our students and program tremendously. The Pima Online Educators Conference will be held November 2nd through 4th and will feature keynotes from Dr. Gina Garcia and Dr. Thomas Tobin. All members of the Pima community are welcome to attend. In May, leadership from the PCC Center of Excellence for IT and Cybersecurity presented at the Community College Cyber Summit in Dayton, Ohio. The session was titled Disruptive Learning, Failure as a Path to Success. PCC's innovative, experiential approach to IT and cybersecurity education was very well received by the summit participants. Special thanks to Chris Bonhorst, Will McCullen, and Jim Craig. On August 31st, deans from University of Arizona and Pima Community College had a joint meeting on the U Arizona campus to share transfer ideas and discuss a joint MOU on the collaboration of U Arizona and PCC in our commitment to offer learners the best programs in our Tucson community and Southern Arizona. The respective provosts were present with their respective deans and teams. The next meeting will actually be hosted here at Pima. The HSI STEM Title III IT Knowledge and in Context grant was just awarded the second year of funding for $1 million. Since October 21st, the grant team has accomplished several outcomes, including serving our local community by presenting IT and cybersecurity workshops and presentations to over 200 high school students. We have also hired 15 IT cyber students into paid IT technician internship positions within our own Center of Excellence. No all-college council committee meeting has been held yet. The first meeting of the semester is scheduled for October 14th. The administration is also eager and ready to jump in and work on the college's institutional goals, the chancellor's goals, and the college's strategic plans. We have a lot of work to do, and our mission to empower every learner every day for every goal is in the forefront of all of our hearts and minds. This concludes my report.
Thank you so much, Jim. We really appreciate everything that you do, and I saw a picture of that airplane. I can't wait to see it in person, but it just also illustrates the importance of having these community relationships because, again, I just want to say it again, without state funding, we do have to be creative, and we're really fortunate to have foundations, the Pima Foundation, and community partners who are pitching in to allow for scholarships and internships, airplanes and stuff to work on. I think it's really important that we continue this, so thank you for that. Thank you for your positivity, too. We need more of that in your position, so thank you very much. And with that, any questions for Jim? All right, the next item is 15 minutes for the Chancellor's report. Chancellor.
Yes, Madam Chair, and good evening, everybody. So pleased that we're starting out the term with a strong enrollment boost that is not, I shouldn't say equal to, but just a little above where we were in the fall of 2020. And that's really a positive place to be in. Not all of the districts in the state enjoy that same position. So I think it says a lot about what this college has done, not only over the last 2 years, but really over the last few years to really start to ensure that our programs are relevant, so students want to be here, that we're providing better customer service and support. I think we're starting to see those things paying off, that we're going into the high schools providing greater support through our dual enrollment high school programming, and that we're really focused on the work-based learning pieces, working with our employer community. I think when you look at all of those pieces, they're starting to come together. But I also caution us. I was just in a meeting recently where the state is very concerned about the state of education and the declining population. So we need to recognize that enrollment's going to be a challenge for quite a while, not just for Pima, but for the entire state. And so every single person counts. And that's why I think dual enrollment is critical, because we've got to get more of our kids wanting to go to college. But that's not going to get us to the enrollment numbers we need. So that adult population, especially those who've had some college, no degree, and those who've not even gone to college, if we can reach them, then that's going to help us to do a solid job of serving our community. But I don't want us to lose sight of it's an enormous challenge that it's in front of us. I want to thank East Campus faculty, Andy and Jamie, our two math faculty, I've heard positive comments from students about what you're doing in the classrooms there, and in the case of Andy, a student saying that you actually made calculus fun and relevant. And I mean, that says a lot when you have students recognizing the value of calculus, right? And then also want to recognize our teacher prep faculty and staff. Our teacher prep program is the leader in the state of Arizona. And when the state passed a new law around reading requirements for K through 3 grades for certification of teachers, as well as the requirement around having a certified dyslexic faculty member on staff at, I think it's the K-5, I may have them reversed, but Pima immediately stepped in and got to work. So we're the only college at the moment who can actually certify in these two areas. That says a lot about our faculty and staff and teacher prep. Also, some of us had the pleasure of visiting the West Campus Library. And so if you haven't had a chance, I encourage you to go and take a look at our West Campus Library. They've done a phenomenal job of reorganizing the library, creating a better look and feel for students. We have those learning pods there, remodeled some of the rooms, and then putting things more out in the perimeter that are more welcoming, inviting for our students. Also, they have a great pride display there, and so, and they have a great display on banned books. And they also have, in the book, they have the reason why this book is banned. And I'm like, looking at this, really, this book is banned? At some point, if we continue on this trajectory, every book will be banned. So I think there's some reason, and reasonableness has to come back to the table at some point in terms of books. But our faculty, our librarians, they're leading the way, working with our students, allowing our students to be leaders. And I think the displays really reflect that, with the librarians in this case being the guide to help them step up into that leadership role. Also, and thank Phil and David and Irene and so many others for the great work on putting together these Super Saturday events. I had the pleasure of going to one of them. I mean, lots of individuals showing up. And then we're using the technology, the Kunami, so even though you show up and you can't be seen right away, you get your little text message that tells you when it's your turn. So you don't have to sit there and just wait. You can go do some other things and then come back when you get that message saying that your turn is now ready for you. So great job by the team there. Also, I think, I don't think it can be said enough, but when Harvard University recognizes your college as one of the 5 exemplars across the country, we should be singing that from the rooftops. I don't care about our differences, folks don't feel that I'm being transparent or accountable enough, but the fact remains, Harvard University would not choose a college if that college isn't hitting it out of the park. Let's not lose sight of that. And also, Forbes would not choose a Pima Community College to be a top 5 employer if this place is so bad. I want us not to lose sight of that. If this place is as bad as some people say, we would not be a top 5 employer for people to work at, because our employees are telling us this is a great place to work. We have some of the greatest benefits in this community. We pay way better than minimum wage, as you pointed out. Let's not forget that. Yeah, we got things to work on. We're not perfect, but let's take a step back and say the glass, when you look at it as half full, we're doing better than most. And we're doing better than most with probably the least to work with. I mean, how do you achieve that, right? You have the least to work with, but yet you are achieving way better than the folks who have a lot more. I want us not to lose sight of that. We have so much to be proud of. Let's talk about the things we have to be proud of, as well as we have things we need to work on. And I'm committed to working on them. And my team is committed to working on them. But you don't get this kind of success if there isn't shared governance. I'll tell you that now. You will not get this kind of success. And let's not forget that. Child care center. I mean, it broke my heart to come to a district that wasn't offering child care. But I also knew that we couldn't fix this right away. We had a lot of other things to do, but it was never lost that we needed to do something. And finally, we got the opportunity. And, you know, thanks to Congressman Grijalva and our congressional delegation and so many people in this community, it really reflects that as long as we keep that, doing the right thing as part of our agenda, and we don't lose sight of that, and we wait for the right timing for things, things happen. And the Child Care Center is a fine example of that. But we did this with partnerships. That's the key, I think, to our success long term. As you put it, Chair Ripley, when you have no resources, you got to look for them in a different way. Well, I think it's a gift that was given to us, because that gift said, go out and develop relationships. You don't have to go it alone. And I think we're seeing that come back in spades for the college now. Let me just close with, you know, we're starting National Hispanic Heritage Month tomorrow. And today, on the front of the National Heritage Month, a small group of us were up in Phoenix at a breakfast meeting of the Victoria Foundation. So Pete Garcia started the Victoria Foundation, and our very own Dr. Irene Robles Lopez was awarded the Dr. Alfredo G. De Los Santos Outstanding Latino Community College Award. So Irene, congratulations to you.
Wow.
Again, this reflects, we have so much great talent here. So let's talk about that more, not just what we're not doing. And unfortunately, when we're in this group, we seem to hear only about the things that aren't working instead of the great things that are working. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Lambert. And just to echo, yeah, it's fun for me personally, because I'm an ex-cheerleader. I will admit that. Many decades ago. It's fun to, you know, that's the easy part of the job, is to praise people and tell them how great they are, and it's easy here because everyone is doing a bang-up job. It really, truly is easy. But in the spirit of transparency and in the name of shared governance, I think that the audience needs to also know that what you don't see behind the scenes, and our council will let you know, our chief of staff and the chancellor certainly will let you know, if you really ask them how many times I've actually called them or texted them with not so nice things to say and demanded answers and not always agreed with them. But we're a family, and if a family can't debate and argue issues civilly, then we'll never get anything done. That's what families do. So that you don't see that, because we try to reconcile those behind the scenes as much as possible through study sessions, through board documents, and through just conversations, just face-to-face conversations. And 9 times out of 10, it's a misunderstanding, mostly on my part, because I don't know how to read certain documents or charts or graphs. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes they will go back and say, yeah, you're right, Kat. Let's look at that. And we didn't see that. Or my bad. And I think, you know, you saw today, if you're going to call me or anyone out on anything, please do. Please make it specific. If you just call me a poopy face, then I don't know how to fix that. It's in my face. Right. But if you tell me I did this on this date and it's my bad, I'm first to admit my wrong. And I know the Chancellor is too, because he has done that. He has admitted to me several times. And so I just wanted to say that, just in the spirit of, because there's a lot of rumbling around this room, and I want to also just point out that we are family. I mean, maybe it's a little crazy and maybe it's a little bit odd sometimes, but we are Asian, we are African American, we are Hispanic, we are Native American, we are gay, we are lesbian, we are Jewish, we are Catholic, we are Protestant, we are non-denomination, and I'm just looking at this room of just a handful of people alone. But this is what you have as a board and as senior leadership. So know that diversity of thought is hugely important, and transparency is hugely important. We can take it. So thank you for being honest, the people that have spoken out, and anything tangible that we can fix, we will do all we can as a board to address those items. So thanks a lot, Chancellor, for being open as well. and especially open to me throwing things at you when you need it. But thanks mostly for, again, the best part of my job is to go to these ribbon cuttings, to visit the schools, to go to high schools, and to talk to principals, and go to the veterans. I mean, to go down to Davis-Monthan Air Force Base and to speak at a paramedics, Air Force paramedic graduation. That's the great part. That's the fun part of the job, is to see the good things that we're doing, and it's all due to everybody that's listening, staff, faculty, adjunct faculty, permanent faculty, facilities, every employee that works here makes this happen. Look at our IT team today behind the scenes. I don't even know where they are. Our security staff outside, Andrea, Gabby, all these people make this happen. So thank you so much. I'll stop because now the next item on the agenda, I want to move this along, sorry about that, is the information items, which were in the board packets and are for everybody to review. The information items were provided to the board for general information purposes. If any board member has clarifying questions regarding any of the information items, please let me know, and we can have the Chancellor follow up or add the topic to a future agenda or even study session, as we brought up today, which we hope to do. So with that, consent agenda. So item number 4, we have about 5 minutes if we wanted to discuss this, but the consent agenda was provided to our board also for review. So at this point, may I have a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda? Oh, yes.
I would like to table items 416 and 417, please. Discuss.
Discuss, move to action items, you mean? Or move for discussion, or move to the next meeting?
Move for discussion.
Right, so if I could clarify, I think what you're saying is you'd like to pull those from the consent agenda, and then we'll address them in the subsequent action item section of the agenda. Is that what you had in mind?
Yes.
Okay, we shall move items 4.16 and 4.17. Yeah, yes, Board Member Gonzalez.
I would like to remove the 419. I would like to remove the 419 for discussion as well.
Okay, so thank you. 419 will also be removed. So with that said, minus items 4.16, 4.17, and 4.19, may I have a motion to approve the rest of the items on the consent agenda at this time?
Second.
Moved and seconded, and please, if you approve, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. The motion has been passed to approve the consent agenda items minus items 4.16, 4.17, and 4.19, which will be moved to the action items. So at this time, action items, we do have 20 minutes. We will now consider the action items on the agenda. Mr. Sylvan, would you read the first recommendation from the Chancellor? And Chancellor, can you subsequently provide any information regarding that item?
Sorry, Madam Chair, could you clarify, which one do you want to do first, since we do have the 3 items moved from the consent agenda?
Why don't you to keep some semblance of order, start with 4.16 and then 17 and 19, and then go on to the originally agendized action items.
All right, thank you for that clarification. So item 4.16 is a contract amendment, Chase Building Team for general contracting services for the advanced manufacturing building. The recommendation is as follows. The Chancellor recommends the governing board authorize the Chancellor or designee to execute an amendment to the agreement with Chase Building Team for general contractor services for the construction of the advanced manufacturing building. The total value of the amendment is $1 million, and the total cost for the agreement are not expected to exceed $28,500,000.
Chairwoman Ripley, I would move the item.
Sorry, say that again?
So I would move the recommendation.
You would move the recommendation?
Yes. So
And second.
Mr. Sylvan just read the recommendation, and I'm making a motion to move the recommendation.
And it's been seconded?
Clarification on that. I'm not understanding it well.
I think
so.
We have to move, sorry, go ahead and tell.
So if I might, when an item gets moved from the consent agenda to the action item, we're going to treat it exactly the same as a regular action item. So in this case, we're following the regular routine. The recommendation is read. There's a motion to approve the item. It's seconded, and then we turn to discussion, information, amendment, if that's what desired, et
So it's
cetera.
going to go to discussion, correct?
Yes.
So
Yes, the item has been moved, it's been seconded, and now I'd like to open up for discussion. after comments from the Chancellor.
Madam Chair, I have some folks. Is this work? Can you hear me? No? How about now? There we
There
go.
you go,
Okay.
there you go.
Madam Chair, I have Greg Wilson, who will be glad to share the programmatic aspects related to this recommendation, because it's very illustrative to why we're bringing this forward. Greg, Dean Wilson, are you on?
Yes, thank you, Chancellor Lambert. Good evening, Chair Ripley, board members, Chancellor Lambert, colleagues and guests. I'm happy to answer any question specifically about the welding area. What I would want everybody to know is that we did, and this, I'm not a welder, so I'll state that right off the bat. We really rely heavily on the expertise of our faculty and staff in the welding department. So I want to thank John Mount, who is the welding department head, Phil Abbott, who is faculty, as well as Nolan Phillips, who is our lab specialist. And in speaking with them about the options and preparing for moving into the advanced manufacturing building, we did a lot of research on potential equipment and booths. And one thing that they will all say is that whatever manufacturer you're going with, what you will find is that everybody is geared toward AWS, American Welding Society standards. So in that respect, you know, manufacturers are pretty much all alike. They have different equipment that they offer, different services. But what really came out in discussing this issue with the faculty and the staff is that when it comes to booths in particular and working with different groups, we have found that Lincoln has been very supportive when it comes to anytime we have issues with equipment or questions, they are very responsive. And that has not necessarily been the case with other manufacturers. Please note that most of the folks, when we do require service in our welding program, it comes from Phoenix. So what we found is that a lot of times it's easier for folks to, you know, maybe not respond via email or phone, but that has not been the case with Lincoln. So, you know, we're trying to deliver services for our students, and if a machine goes down, you kind of build up relationships over time with those who perform. And that was certainly a big factor when it came to thinking about what we wanted to do going forward. We're certainly always open to the best, but if all things are equal when it comes to equipment, the services and the features, you start to look at what matters when it comes to building a relationship. And in this case, Lincoln not only provided the best customer service, but also it ties into how we assess our students. You can earn certifications in many different ways. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of times when we speak to employers, they may not necessarily even be aware of certifications that are offered. What they really want to know is that our students can perform. And so then the question we talk about within a program, welding or any other program, is do these programs align with how we are assessing students? And do the certifications provide faculty with resources and assessments that help them do a better job? And in this case, it would be the same. That's a quick overview of
Greg,
the thinking. Yes.
Let me pause you there for a moment. So one of the issues is why the increase? Okay, so a big reason for the increase is the demand for welding has increased significantly in our community, especially from JTED students. And so we have over 75 JTED students sitting on a wait list that we cannot meet their needs because we don't have the welding booths to deliver. So part of what we want to do as we move into this new facility is to open up more booths. And we have flex space in the facility to do that. So this request is tied to let's open up more booths. And what Greg is talking about is the reason why the Lincoln piece versus other manufacturers. But the other thing he doesn't mention is there's like three facets. There's what's in the wall. What's in the wall part of the is not tied to a specific manufacturer. And then there's the equipment itself. So there's the Lincoln equipment, the Miller equipment, and we use all of those. But the Lincoln piece
is the booth. And so I just want to give you that context.
Yes, Board Member Hay.
So just to be clear, we need this overage because we want to serve more students who want to take welding, and there's a demand, and the costs are itemized in the documents. So essentially, the students, we need to serve more students, and so we need more welding booths and training. Got it. Thank you.
And also, just correct me if I'm wrong, but because I read these documents, and I know I've asked a lot of questions about this topic. It would be whenever we increase any kind of funding, the board has to raise our eyebrows. But it's 16 or so more booths, which is the bulk of this ask. But also the bigger picture here is the need in the nation, but in Pima County and in Arizona especially, for more welders. So it's not just a one-off, we've got 75 welding students that want to come here, but it is basically a demand that you're so please correct me if I'm wrong, it's a demand we're trying to reach with a look towards the future and in our offerings, correct?
Right, so you have a number of drivers. You have the aging out of the workforce. So that's one, probably that's the single biggest driver.
Yeah, that's huge, yeah.
And then remember, not too long ago, the president signed the infrastructure bill. So the roads, the bridges, all of that's going to require welders. And so with limited welding programs across the state, and we're in a position now to expand the capacity to help deliver and meet that workforce need in this space. I don't know, Greg, did you want to add anything to that part?
Can I ask
Yes,
a
not only
question?
is the demand really high when you look at the high school pipeline from JTED, because we've had to turn students away. The other piece that we're adding is the flex area, and that specifically is to help us upskill existing employees. So we had a visit, for example, recently from PVB Fabrications, right, a local welding employer. They're looking to partner with us and potentially train some of their employees within our spaces. So it's just don't think of the incoming high school population. It's about upskilling, which, as everyone knows, that's part of the mission of the Center of Excellence. That's why we're building these types of flexible spaces.
Thank you, Maria.
Okay, so I had a meeting with the Chancellor prior to this meeting, and who was with us, Chancellor? David Doré. So my concern wasn't about the increase in cost, okay? My primary concern was, did we go out for an RFP when we bought these welding booths? And if you did, how much were the differences in price? I mean, I understand that Chancellor said there's the miller and there's 2 other welding equipment that is being used. And yes, I understand that these are booths. So that being said, the taxpayers from this community want to know that our money is well spent. And I see that it's a considerable amount of booths, So does that mean that the other equipment's gonna go in there, but we only selected the Lincoln Electric? And the other reason that I'm concerned is that it was tagged to being NC3 certified, and I happen to know that Lincoln Electric happens to be a partner with this organization. And so that's all I want is an explanation as to why this, if you tell me that you did an RFP and these are the reasons, it's a better unit. Service, okay, I understand service is very important. I understand that we need to provide the training for the community, for the people that are going to take the classes. But the other part of the service is you don't always call the vendor to come and do the repairs. Your own facility people come in and do some of the repairs. And I don't know what the percentage is. I'm not an expert in that stuff. I'm just asking questions.
So, Board Member Garcia, I hear different pieces in your statement. So the first thing is the college will always follow proper procurement processes to obtain a service, equipment, et cetera. So we will do that. We will make sure those things are followed. So that's I think, probably the heart of your question, right? And in terms of the specifics related to this project, I don't know if Dr. Dave B. is available to just answer how it works in this particular project. Sometimes the contractor is the one who goes out and acquires the equipment and the materials, et cetera, and sometimes it's the college. I don't know in this instance which one it is, but in any event, we make sure that things are followed properly. So, Dave, are you on?
Yeah, and I can answer the question relatively quickly. So right now what we're doing is we're asking for authorization to spend the money. There will still be a vetting process to confirm appropriately that this equipment follows the procurement procedures of the college. So as Chancellor Lambert mentions, that we will always make sure that we're properly purchasing things. In this particular case, we will likely have this run through the contractor. Procurement would then verify the purchase of the equipment, that it's an appropriate vendor, that sort of thing. And the reason that you run some of these through general contractors is that it helps facilitate the timing of when the equipment comes along with the rest of the construction of the project. So it streamlines how those things work, but we'll continue to review these purchases as well as we should through our procurement policies.
Well, I know that it's a huge expense, and that's what I was looking at too. And normally, at a certain amount, we do go through procurement. And so I'm just surprised that in this case, we're going through the contractor. I'm done.
Any other comments? Yes, Board Member Gonzalez.
The only comment, as mentioned before, that I have, and I was in the meeting with Dr. Duray and also Mr. Lambert when we met. My concern right now is the amount in reference to the changes, the additional $1 million to the existing $28,500 million as well. $28,500,000. Combined together is over the $29,500 million, and that's quite of it's significant. What I'm trying to say, significant in reference to as Dr. B, Mr. B mentioned a while ago, is that right now we're here in reference to authorizing for the expenditure of the PCC, for the expenditure of the money. Or I think it's a lot. One of the things that I did ask when we met, because other companies were mentioned that afternoon, did we do a comparison study? And if we haven't, I think we should, in reference to that. The other question that I have right now, I know that I do realize, and I'm aware in reference to the waiting list of 75 students, but also in reference to the booth. I believe you mentioned, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Lambert, you mentioned 13, and we hear from our board chair 16 right now. So that's significant as well, too. It's I don't know which is right or not. But I think it's very significant, as you mentioned a while ago, coming back to the transparency. But I really would like to really get the answers in reference to what's there. Let's do a meeting, a follow-up meeting on this, and that's what I highly recommend that.
So just to clarify, Madam Chair, we're asking to be able to increase our spending capacity from $27.5 million to $28.5 million. We have not spent the money yet. We're just asking for that ability should additional changes need to be made. And we anticipate, because of the welding booths, that that's the lion's share of that, but there's other pieces that are likely to emerge.
Yes, Board Member Klinko.
Thank you, Chair Ripley. So just to summarize, Dr. Hayes' comment, this is meeting a programmatic need that the college has identified in the community as part of our workforce development opportunity, because there's a huge wait list for welding students. The cost associated with this follows procurement procedures within the institution, and it's to increase the number of and what the concern is a $400,000 line item in this package specifically related to welding. And it's going to increase the number of booths to be able to meet that demand. Right. And these booths get installed physically into the new Center of Excellence, right, which we hope to have open in the new year. Yes. So I don't see what the concern is. I mean, this is specifically why these spaces were built as flex spaces, to be able to rapidly meet the changing needs of the community. I mean, that was the entire purpose of designing the buildings and the space the way we have. So this seems that it's completely consistent with the vision that the board has outlined.
Correct.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I mean, this is good to get clarity, because also for clarity, we are adding welding booths, correct? We're just adding on to what's already being built.
Yes.
So it only makes sense to have the same contractor do the same work so that the right, booths are consistent and yes, at the same quality. And I, for one, when I look at, you know, the career path of a welder, it's much more than a bunch of tools and bookshelves. It's a huge safety issue. Huge. And if we're not to code, and if we're not giving our students the safest possible way to learn this skill, it is a giant hazard. They should get hazardous pay, welders, in my opinion. But the fact that there is a demand, but also more importantly, back to the topic at hand, it is a continuation of the current contract. This isn't a new this isn't a new program or something out of the scope of what we originally did. We're just trying to get more welding. We're just trying to expand it. Yeah. Correct. Okay. I just needed to understand that. That's why I said it out loud. Thanks for indulging me. Any other questions? Anybody? Okay. With that, if there's no further discussion, I would like to open it up to vote. All those in favor of passing this action item, and please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, please say nay.
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 And the vote passes 3-2 at this point. Next action item, please, Mr. Sylvan.
And just point of clarification, just for the record, it was 3-2 with Board Member Garcia and Gonzalez dissenting.
Yes, I think Jeff's taking notes on the votes. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sylvan. Oh, yes.
Sorry. The next item, 4.17, is a contract amendment with Division 2 for the West Campus Building F Science Lab renovation. The specific recommendation is as follows. The Chancellor recommends the Governing Board authorize the Chancellor or designee to execute an amendment to the agreement with Division 2 for the West Campus Building F Science Lab renovation to add additional scope and general condition due to the unforeseen conditions discovered during demolition. The total cost of the amendment is $2.2 million, and the total value of the amended contract is not expected to exceed $9,500,000.
Do I hear a motion?
I would move the recommendation.
Second.
I'd like now to ask the Chancellor for his inputs.
Madam Chair, so the reason why this is before the board is due to unforeseen circumstances. As we all know, the impacts of COVID on supply chain and a number of other implications of that reality. We want the spending capacity to increase by $2.2 million so that we have the flexibility to negotiate with the contractor to address the increased cost associated with this project. So that's essentially what we're asking, is the ability to enter into negotiations to address the unforeseen circumstances.
Okay, thank you very much. I open it up for discussion. Board Member Garcia.
Okay, I just want clarification. So we are remodeling 2 buildings, correct? Are we adding the scope to another building, or is it just the one? What I said, it was 2 buildings.
Oh, so there's different, thank you for asking that question, Board Member Garcia. There's different projects going on at West Campus. So my understanding, this is the F building science labs that we're talking about.
One building.
The F building.
Okay.
Okay. And now there's another project where there's multiple buildings related to the same program area that's tied to healthcare. Now, Dave, maybe you can just clarify a little more, even my understanding if needed.
Yeah, I think perhaps the confusion may come from the fact that there are sort of alternatives were listed in the board report, the alternative scopes. Those things were put out when the bid happened, and then the idea is you put in different alternatives to see what you might be able to fund if you're at the edge of your funding. And so the alternatives, this is really to follow up as we have been talking with the board. They're just cost escalation that's related to already approved projects. And Brandy, if you want to add anything to that.
Well, I think that pretty much covers it as identified in the tables that are in the board report. We're talking about cost, impact, and escalation, and then delays as a result of procurement and staffing issues and the unforeseen conditions. So I think you pretty much covered it all.
Board Member Klinko?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Chair Ripley. So just 2 points of clarification. One, this will return for final approval from the board. Okay, I see you nodding your head, yes. Because I mean, over a 20% escalation for unforeseen is significant, and I definitely am concerned about the percentage of the increase to the total budget. And so I think coming back with clarification on the agreement and our position on what was acceptable is appropriate. So again, this is we're just approving the increase so that this negotiation could happen, but you're coming back. So I would support that with that in mind.
Thank you. Board Member Garcia.
Okay, and the other question that I have, and it may not be related, but I'm concerned about it, is that we're going to continue to be offering classes in the health field. We're not like shutting down.
Yes.
Students are still going to be able to attend class, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, there are, I was privy to a discussion with the Chancellor about having to ensuring that well ahead of time, the faculty, the staff are moved to an alternate temporary site while all of this construction is happening, and with as minimum, there's going to be some confusion, but with minimum confusion as possible. So they're all going to be briefed, and everyone's going to be moved as efficiently as possible with that. So thanks for that question, definitely. It's important. And thanks, Brandy, as well. Any other discussion or questions on this item? Yes, Board Member Gonzalez.
And the only, it's not a discussion, but it's a concern in reference to the $2,200,000 that increase. It provides to me red flags in reference to that big amount. Like I mentioned before, it is very significant, and I'll leave it at that.
Thanks for those comments. And as was briefed to us by Brandy, she's working really hard to minimize that, and this increase is really being pushed upon us by the contractor. So I know she's going to fight and do as much as she can to minimize all of that. And I mean, for the greater audience, there's supply chain delays, everything is going up, construction costs are skyrocketing. So we want to do this as fast as we can to get those students back in and at minimum cost, because I think it's just going to get worse over the year. So that's just some more information. Any other comments or questions? At this time, I would like to go for a vote. Then all those in favor of this motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, aye. Those opposed?
Opposed.
We had 4 ayes, and Mr. Gonzalez has opposed. So the motion passes. Thank you. Mr. Sylvan, when you're ready, the next item, I think it is 4.19.
Yes, the next item is 4.19. That's a contract with Arizona Restaurant Supply for furnishings for the Center of Excellence in Hospitality. The specific recommendation is that the Chancellor recommends the Governing Board authorize the Chancellor or designee to execute an agreement with the Arizona Restaurant Supply, with Arizona Restaurant Supply for furnishings for the Desert Vista Pastry and Bakery Kitchen located in the Center of Excellence for Hospitality and Tourism. Total costs for the agreement are not expected to exceed $410,000.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. Chancellor Lambert, would you like to comment?
Madam Chair, so this is an example of where we've come to an agreement on a number of items with a specific contractor that we now need you to approve so we can execute on that agreement. I'm not familiar with any of the questions or concerns related to this, so I look forward to hearing from the board members who may have a concern, and then we'll be glad to answer any questions associated with that.
Thank you. I now open it up to board members for any questions regarding this.
The only question that I would have in reference to for the equipment, as it's 400,010 is a lot of money as well too. But why was it an oversight in reference to the contract? Was it an oversight in reference to the plan? If it's an oversight, I'm disappointed. I'm asking.
Okay. So, Jim, are you on? Jim Craig?
Yes, I'm here.
Did you hear the question, Jim?
I did. So this equipment is what is needed to complete the bakery and pastry kitchen for the Center of Excellence. And the grant that we got, the Title V grant, only went so far for us in terms of provisioning the kitchen and supplying it. And then as far as oversight, I don't think there was anything missing other than in the past for these last couple of years, there has been increases in costs. There have been increases in supply chain delays that certainly impact things. But in this case, this is an approved budget amount for the college. It's part of completing this phase of our grant as well, and we're under the gun in terms of time frame because of all the other supply chain and construction delays. So this is really going to help us wrap that up and get this entire kitchen and the rest of the Center of Excellence up and running in the spring semester, which is severely impacting our students right now because right now everything is shut down because of construction.
And
yes, Mr. Klinko.
yeah, so just for clarification, this was part of the funding that we're authorizing was specifically part, as stated in the board report, part of the Title V grant and approved by this board as part of the 2020 and 2022 capital budgets. So there's no surprises here. This isn't an override. Yeah. This isn't overrunning. No. This was already approved funding that was authorized by this board and funded through a grant specifically to enhance the program at the Desert Vista campus to include this new culinary arts expansion.
So maybe I can clarify for a second, and Jim can correct me if I'm wrong. So typically what happens with big projects is we come to the board with the budget, the board approves the budget, and then we go out through competitive or other sourcing processes to find specific vendors, and then we come back to the board for authority to contract with that vendor. This is step 2 of that process. So this was part of a budget item that the board already approved, and the reason it's coming back to you is now we've gone through the process that refines exactly how much we're going to spend and with which particular vendor. And because of the dollar amount involved, it requires board approval. So that may be what caused some confusion here, that this was expected to be a 2-step process. This is step 2 of the process of finalizing kind of how this project is going to work. So hopefully I said that correctly. Jim, you can correct me if that's...
Yes, that's correct. Thank you. Perfect.
This goes back to the outset of my comments, that now we're coming to you for your final sign-off. And this will be the same thing that'll happen with those other agreements that we discussed earlier.
Right, it's nothing new. It's just this is step 2 of something we've already approved. Right. Does that clear things up, Board Member Gonzalez? Okay, great. So if there are no further discussion, I would like to move for a vote. All those in favor of this action item, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion passes unanimously.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. Nay?
Press the thing, yes.
Sorry, was that a yes? Yes, okay, so it is indeed unanimous. Thank you very much. So let's move on to the other action items. Mr. Sylvan, could you read the next action item?
Yes, Chair Ripley, I'd be glad to. So the next item is 5.1, an intergovernmental agreement for joint collaboration with the Arizona court system. The recommendation is as follows. The Chancellor recommends the governing board authorize the Chancellor or designee to execute a 3-year intergovernmental agreement with the Arizona Supreme Court through the Administrative Office of the Court for joint academic collaboration to benefit the college's Interpreter Studies program.
Thank you very much. And Chancellor Lambert, would you like to?
We need a motion.
I'm sorry. It's getting late. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
The motion has been moved, seconded. Now, Chancellor Lambert, please provide some comments.
Yes, Chair Ripley, we're so excited about this partnership that we're having with the courts that we just wanted to highlight it by putting it on as an action item as opposed to a consent agenda. I mean, it took a lot of different parties to come together to really get to this place. And so is it, Jeff, was it Jim that was going to talk, just provide a little more detail on this? Or did you want to do that?
I don't think it's me.
It's Jeff
Isn't it-
Gavitas.
Yeah, the other, it's a different
who
Jeff.
leads the Translation
okay.
Studies
Okay, there
program
we
is
go.
here.
Go ahead, Dolores.
Yeah, so Jeff Gavitas, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So
Yeah,
Jeff
great.
leads the Translation Studies program, and so he's going to share the impacts of this. Go ahead, Jeff.
Thank you so much for actually putting this on the action item. I'm excited to be here and to explain this. A lot of people don't know that we actually have one of the very best translation and interpretation programs for the price in the country. And this is a really exciting collaboration because like the other premier programs at Pima, one of the things that makes a program premier is that we offer the certificate, but then there's generally tied to that external certification. And that external certification looks really good for these students who are leaving Pima when they're trying to find employment. And so this agreement just allows the Arizona state courts to come down to Pima, administer the exam, so it's no cost to the college because the students have already paid for this through their course fees, and they administer the exam, and the students can then take this exam and get an external certification to start in that process so that they can actually work as interpreters in the courts, in the superior courts in Arizona, which is a fabulous thing. We have great collaborations with the courts. And just to kind of let you know, our own court here in Tucson has 2 of our own students working as staff, full-time staff there. So, well, past students that have graduated and gone on. And so that's a great thing. We also have students that working at TMC, the medical center here, as interpreters, and not a lot of people know that. And they've come from Pima, so this is a wonderful thing. So thank you. And if you have any questions, I would love to answer them.
Great, thank you so much. It is indeed a pretty amazing program, and thanks for your tremendous work. Are there any questions or comments from the board? Okay, thank you again so much for this. And with that, I would like to call for a vote for the intergovernmental agreement for joint collaboration for the Arizona court system. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay. The motion passes 5-0 unanimously. Thank you very much. Next item, please, Mr. Sylvan.
The Chancellor recommends the governing board appoint the community members listed in the accompanying board report to serve on the governing board's Enrollment and External Relations Committee. Some specific background biotype information about those individuals are listed in the board report.
Thank you very much. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. I open this up to the Chancellor for information.
So, Chair Ripley, we're excited that we have a number of community partners who've been willing to say that they would love to help Pima Community College around our enrollment and outreach efforts. And so you have a distinguished list of individuals here. Linda Arzamanian, Dr. Linda Arzamanian, former Pima County School Superintendent. You also have Marla Franco, who oversees the HSI initiatives for the University of Arizona, Rosie Garcia, who is with the U.S. Office of Refugee and Resettlement here in Tucson. Of course, Mark Anna, our former board member and a staunch advocate for our refugees here in our community, and a big proponent of students overall and recruitment and retention. Julie Castle from the University of Arizona, and the list goes on. I'm not going to read through them all because I think you get the idea. We're just so fortunate that we have so many committed community members who love to partner with us to help support our ongoing success.
Thank you so much. And for those listening, this is a brand-new committee that we're standing up, and I'm proud to be a member of this committee as well. And it's an effort to perform some outreach into the community, to get community members on the board is really important. I'm so happy to see that there are refugee and immigrant folks, advocates on the board as well. So it sounds like we have a really, I read the list, and we do have a very diverse, wide and broad group of people on this board, which is really necessary to really tap into all the diversity and all the voices in the community. So thank you. I'm really proud to be a part of it. Any questions about the board? Yes.
It's not only questions. I think it's something that's going to be very positive. The comment that I want to make has to be hopefully on the list that you have, Chancellor Lambert, you have a couple of the people from the two flags that we have here from the O'odham Nation or the Yaqui Nation to be reflective of the community. Those two nations are the number 2 and number 3 tribes in the whole state of Arizona. So I think it needs to be reflective, and if it's not there, I really would like to see somebody from there, from both nations.
Thank you, Board Member Gonzalez. We'll keep that in mind as we continue to build membership for our respective committees. I also wanted to say a thank you to Phil Burdick and his team for helping to coordinate the logistics around this.
Thank you very much. And yes, I think it's an opportunity to recruit some new members as well, because this is not limited to the list we have. Yes, Board Member.
And I just want to express thank you to all of the individuals who are stepping up to serve the college. These are not glamorous positions on these boards. They are very time-consuming, and but they really have moved the needle, and they make a difference, and they really support this board and its ability to affect a positive outcome and change for the community. So I just want to thank each and every one of the individuals who stepped up to participate.
Thank you for those comments. Yes, indeed. These are not paid positions. Any other discussion or questions, comments? With that, I would like to open it up for the vote. All those in favor to pass this,
Aye.
signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? And the motion passes unanimously. Okay, I think we have one more action item. Please read that one, Mr. Sylvan.
Thank you, Chair Ripley. So the final action item addresses format of board meetings. Those have changed in different ways over the last couple of years. Presently, we're using this hybrid format in order to balance different considerations, access, safety, a variety of considerations. And so administration would propose to continue in this manner, but we wanted to provide the board an opportunity to share their perspectives.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion?
I would move to adopt the recommendation.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any comments from the Chancellor first?
Madam Chair, Jeff said it well. We really love to hear your direction as we help support all of you in terms of how you want this meetings to continue to be formatted and structured going forward for at least the next few meetings as we move into the new year.
Thank you. Yes, Board Member Hay.
Thank you, Chair Ripley. I think, obviously COVID's going to be with us forever, but I think the hybrid model, whether we're teaching or having meetings, often allows for greater participation. So those who want to do a call to the audience who can't make it here, maybe they can. So I know it's probably a little bit more difficult, but I would be open to maintaining a hybrid format, or that's just my idea.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Board Member Garcia.
I would rather see a present, board meetings that allow people to be present. I think it's better to be able to see each other and talk to each other, and even the people that come forward and want to do a call to the audience. And if things got bad, where COVID's, or any other illness, monkeypox, we just go back to hybrid and we just vote on it. Reevaluate the situation.
Thank you. Board Member Gonzalez.
I agree. I really would like to see in-person audience here, and would like to promote that. But more important, also, one area that I've promoted since day one, even before I got elected, is for the board. Since we have a new committee, reference to the community relations, I really would like, and it's not the first time, second time, or third time I said, the board needs to be out there in the community as well too. We have the different campuses. I think it's with this new technology, Pima has survived and done a lot in reference to the classes. But I think we, as a board members, we need to be out in the community. I would recommend the first campus. We go out there, be West Campus, but in the Southwest as well too.
Thank you, Board Member Gonzalez. Yes, Board Member Klinko.
Thank you, Chair Ripley. I mean, when this started, we said that we would have unanimous agreement for this particular item. I would suggest, because we don't seem to have unanimous agreement, I mean, we've moved now where we're here. I mean, that's one step closer, but maybe we could revisit in November and just sort of every 2 months touch base, so that way we're not every single month talking about it, but November is very close, and we could readdress it and see where we're at. I know that moving it around may be more complicated because of the PCTV and security and other issues that have come up recently. But I think let's explore that in November. Maybe we can have it as a more extended item that could actually, or add it to a study session item in November to talk about a little more in depth, if that's agreeable.
Secondary comment? Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
So I agree that in terms of the site of the board meeting, I think we can put that off for another day to discuss. But when you say in person, does that exclude hybrid? I mean, hybrid means you can come or you cannot.
I would like to see the public here. I would like to see us here. If for some reason somebody couldn't make it, and they had, it was a really
Just so you know, the audience can't hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. No, my response is that I would like to see the audience come down here and be here like it used to be. I'd like to see the board members' discussion. She asked whether if we could still have hybrid. If there was some extenuating circumstance that people couldn't make it, we could accommodate that. But I think the majority of the people, the administrators and stuff, I would like to see them all here.
I support that.
So would it be agreeable, Chairman Ripley, that we could re-explore that in November about exactly, or we can have a study session to really come up with a phase plan on how we're going to address it and if we're going to sort of comprehensively approach all of this?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, because I think all of us want to be in person. We all miss each other, the public anyway. So that's not an argument. But again, as for now, the leader of the board, I do have to consider the safety and the security and the health of everybody. So I agree. It was the right decision today, and we should just keep readdressing it, because this is a moving target with COVID and safety and security. There's a lot happening in the world. So yes, I agree. Let's try to move it. Yeah. So do I make a motion?
Can I add just something? Both of you, Board Chair and Mr. Klinko, you made a reference to safety. Now, we've designed this room to address the safety concerns. If we take things on the road, as suggested by Board Member Gonzalez, that's a whole nother level of consideration on that particular point. So I want us not to lose sight of that. The other piece is it does put greater demand on our CCTV infrastructure, our IT infrastructure to move something. You're talking, at least a day, if not more, work for them to set up that new site, not to include the safety aspect. So I think if we're looking at making that kind of move, I just need enough lead time to start to set those pieces in motion.
And I think alternatively too, because that's a lot to ask of staff, but I think alternatively, it's been brought up before by both Board Member Gonzalez and myself, is to look into town halls in the various districts. And I would love to get more input from you and some leadership, Board Member Gonzalez, on making that happen, because I think that's something that someone just has to step up and do it. I think having the town halls, the Chancellor and Vice Chair and myself had one town hall, and it was outdoors. It was, out in near the soccer field, I believe it was, and it was well attended and it was wonderful, and it was pretty full, under a tent, a little bit not too hot. But I think revisiting that maybe and maybe the new committee could talk about it. I know Board Member Garcia is on the committee as well with me. That could be something that could add to community outreach, short of having the entire board meeting conducted at the different campuses. But again, let's table it for now. And what do we need to do legally to make that happen?
So that was going to be my suggestion, just kind of hearing where I think things were going to be going. So what about a motion to table until the November meeting? And then that would also give us time to have staff prepare to talk about those particular aspects of what the different options would look like from a time and logistics standpoint.
So Chairwoman Ripley, so if I could withdraw my motion, if that's suitable to the seconder, and then offer a substitute motion, which would be to table the item per Jeff's recommendation to November.
Okay, can I just make a quick comment?
Yes.
Basically, okay, so we're building the new centers of excellence in the downtown campus. Are we going to have the ability, is it going to be set up to be able to do this kind of a format? Well, I would think so. I mean, state of the art, correct? That would be one option. There'd be another we could go to.
Chairwoman Ripley, so perhaps as part of our October meeting, we could agendize an item on our executive session to talk about the security implications of this particular room.
Right.
That might help address some of those questions.
And certainly we can, those are great brainstorming ideas to just throw that out. But right now, I don't think but we can brainstorm other ideas. And like I said, the town hall idea as well. So motion.
So there's a motion.
To table or to remove?
Motion to table till November.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and it's been approved unanimously. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, here. Okay, thank you. So we've concluded the action items. We have one more major thing. Hold on. Let me follow the script here. The last thing we do have is remarks by the governing board. We have, hopefully we'll keep it under 20 minutes. I will first open it up with just some closing remarks, and then we will go around the table with our board members. I want to thank everybody, especially, students. I'm just going to keep repeating students. This is all why we're here, is because of the students. Shout out to the IT staff, security, again, Andrea and Gabby for making this happen, and just everything. I just want to echo everything that everyone said here in terms of thanking and applauding all of the efforts, especially, these last 3 years going through the pandemic. I think we've really come out relatively clean from that. There's always going to be something else. If it's not a pandemic, something's going to happen. So your resilience is what's important. The resilience of everybody that's employed at Pima, this board, everybody that's really got their heart in this school, it's important to know that, and I see it in everybody's eyes, is the resilience is there and the love for the college is there. So thank you. Let's not ever forget that. And it's not never forget the love for the college and the fact that we're here because of the students. So with that said, there's the stormy waters, they're there. You know, there's the good, the bad, and the ugly, and this is what we do. As a board, we want to hear it all. Although navigable, these stormy waters, we can only survive them if we all agree to a common course and common goals. We had a board retreat. I didn't mention that. I might have, but we had a board retreat last week. And the board retreat, the purpose of that was to get together once a year as a board, the five of us, the five very diverse five-member board, to look at our goals, to look at the Chancellor's goals and his accomplishments. His accomplishments and success is the success and accomplishments of the schools. If he's not successful, the school's not successful. So a lot of what we did was look at each other, we looked at ourselves, and we took a really hard and not so easy look at ourselves, and we came up with some goals. We'll be publishing those soon. And we also came up with the fact that we all promised, if not vowed, to each other to follow ethical and civil discourse, to help each other out, because we have to, at the end of the day, always come back to the fact that we are here as volunteers, elected officials, and our obligation is to the students and to the community, and that alone. So with that said, you know, I had a lot of notes here, and I'm not going to read them, but I even had a quote from Socrates, but it's getting late, so I'm not going to read that. But with that, again, I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank all of the people that make this school happen. I want to thank Chancellor Lambert for all the hard work. People don't really realize that he does put in over 80 hours a week, and no one's going to say that, so I will. So thank you for that, and thank you for taking all those late night texts and calls. And we are here as oversight, though. We're here to keep everyone accountable, specifically the Chancellor. So it's oversight, it's accountability, but we still want to thank and we still want to applaud all the good stuff, because there's so much good stuff here. So thank you for that. I'm done with that. I would like to turn it over to the rest of the board for final remarks. First up is, we'll just go around, Board Member Garcia.
So I just wanted to read something. Okay. So on September the 7th and 8th of last week, all the board members attended a retreat at the Hacienda del Sol. I was greeted at the door by security personnel. The officer proceeded to perform a check on me. Chairperson Ripley greeted us and announced that she had requested the presence of security officer because she felt threatened and implied that she feared for her life. She referenced the shooting of Gabby Gifford and the judge that was killed. Other members of the board made similar renditions, including the Chancellor. I am very concerned that the board feels threatened and in fear of their lives, and demand that the Pima Community College Board and Chancellor file a formal complaint with the Tucson Police Department, the campus police, and the FBI. None of us should be in a position where we fear for our lives, okay? So again, when Lochner, shot that other person, there were some incidents there that were actually filed, and they didn't, we didn't take care of it, and this is why this happened to Gabby. So please, if you are really concerned, I don't feel that way, because I haven't been confronted with that. I haven't received any calls. I haven't been threatened. So, if that's the case, let's do something about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Garcia. Board Member Gonzalez, would you like to go next?
I just want to say good luck to all our students. I know they have a couple of grandkids attending Pima, as I mentioned before, in a retreat. Our retreat went well in reference to what we want to do and what we want to establish. I think we all need to move forward in reference to providing the best possible resources, instruction, but more in reference to safety. Safety is an issue that transpired at a board retreat, but I think we can work it out. But let's keep the board informed as well too. I was very surprised and kind of disappointed in reference to the comments that were made. Nonetheless, I think it's I think Pima can do better and will do better. All of us are not perfect, but we have to make it as part of the goal is we need to make it and unite and work together as well too. I don't see anything wrong in reference to sharing our concerns or issues that we have, because that's what we're here for. We're here to hear the community, and that's why I recommended that let's be in the community. But more important, we need to provide the best possible resources and instruction in classes. I know the classes, some are obsolete, but I think there's individuals as all students, when they come in and register, for example, in 2013, 2016, or 2019, they all follow a catalog. I think that the Pima College needs to grant them and provide those classes they were initially registered for in following their program of study. And I think that's very beneficial and productive for each student to follow their program of study. If classes are not there, how can our students with the hopes to finish up do not have those classes and within each of the semesters? In closing, I just want to say in 2 or 3 words that we're here, we volunteer, but we're also promoting and actively within the community as well too, because the citizens of Pima County deserve the best, and we're trying to do what is the best. I just don't like in reference to one word, the last one that was mentioned, stormy waters. I think stormy waters can be good and can be bad as well too, but I think, in my opinion, myself, we need to keep on moving forward, providing the best that we can for our students out there, and the faculty and the staff as well too. I know it wasn't, and I did mention it in reference to the HR compensation. There's a lot of room to build, but also a lot of room to improve as well too. And I know that we're all looking at it, and I think that should be some of the stuff that we need to move forward with. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Hay.
No comments, thank you.
Thank you. And Board Member Kiplinko.
Thank you very much, Chairwoman Ripley. I'll keep my comments very brief. I just want to welcome everybody back to another year. I think the trajectory of the institution is so strong, and it's, as I've said for 7 years on this board, it's really a team effort. It takes every single person working together, rowing in the same direction to make this type of transformational change. And I want to thank, in particular, Chancellor Lambert for his steady hand and his guiding, thoughtful, calm wisdom that continues to propel the vision of this institution forward. As we know, it takes a leader, but it takes everybody working together, as you noted this evening, to make the transformational change. And it's the faculty and the staff and the administration and everybody working to the benefit of this community. So thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for your comments. I would like to make one announcement. Our September 26th study session, the board will be voting on our amended bylaws, so just a reminder for that. And before we adjourn, any board member like to request another agenda item now or within the next couple weeks? Please do so. No?
Sorry, I thought I had asked for, I sent you an email about a board meeting. I'm not sure if I said how to run it.
I know for the next board meeting. Yeah, we're considering that for the agenda, definitely. Okay. Yeah. So any other agenda items for the next meeting? Okay. With that, we have completed all items on the agenda. If there is no further business, is there an objection to adjourn? Hearing none, this meeting, where's my gavel, is now adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, IT team, wherever you are back there. Oops.